What's going on, everybody? It's Dylan. It's Mitch. Where's the third person, though? Where is Kev? Whoa!
The third man! The third man!
Yeah, but whose side is he on? It's the third man, Kevo, on our screens.
Yes.
He is here. Yes, he's at Mitch's house. So we got everybody in one room besides me. I'm the host tonight. We have SummerSlam 2017 to talk about. First off, let me rant a little bit on Mr. Katana. We ain't being lazy. I saw him in the chat. Cesar was messing with my technical difficulties, so I apologize for that. But we do have some comments. Jeremy Hansman, congratulations, you got the first comment. Katana says, the show was somewhat good. Fatal 4 was the only match I was hyped for, and it delivered big time. Surprised that Roman took the pinfall and not Joe. I guess that was a good way to get Roman out of the title picture for now. There's a lot. The show was somewhat good. Fatal 4 was the only. Well, okay, I just got background. This is a weird show. I thought the first half was awful. Just straight garbage. Everybody in the comment section put in your thoughts here, but I thought it was awful. Second half had some good matches, a really good tag team match, and the main event had to deliver in order for this show to be passable. And it did. It delivered big time. So we're going to have a lot to talk about, a lot of bad booking decisions, as Mitch has brought up multiple times, and I do stuff on the show. So, guys, in the Milani house, how did you feel about SummerSlam 2017?
The main event, eat your heart out, Omega Okada, match of the year, all right? Yeah. Main event, and I don't really say like match of the year, 5 stars, 6.5, 3, whatever the fuck, right? I don't say that stuff very often, right? But this was match of the year for my money that I've seen. But the rest of the show, and this is how we felt coming in. It was the main event show. It was a main event show. And that sometimes hurts the show when you have 4 guys in your main event.
Yeah.
It really showed on this card because the rest of the card, due to the fact that the storylines are non-existent, due to the fact that there are little to no stars, this show lacked supremely. The booking was very poor, especially in the first half of the show, in my personal opinion. I thought a lot of guys that didn't go over or got, for the lack of a better word, buried, should have maybe went over or at least had good showings. And that did not happen in the show. And I just felt like there were no matches besides the main event that were very memorable. So I felt like the first half specifically, but even the entire show, honestly, until the main event, was lackluster.
For me, if I was Triple H, Mr. Paul Levesque, Mr. Vince McMahon, Mr. Kevin Dunn, Miss Stephanie McMahon, 4 people I would be going and shaking a hand right now are it's specifically to are Brock, Lesnar, Braun Strowman, Paul Heyman a little bit, Samoa Joe, and Roman Reigns. If this main event didn't happen, this may be one of the worst Summer Slams of all time. I think the main event actually saved this card, and we have a lot to talk about. And a star was born tonight. Like, we need to be very, we'll talk about it, but a star was legitimately born tonight. And
that's what the title reads, right? Yeah. The title reads, let me get it correct here because I've messed it up multiple times, even though I made it. Brock went over, but Braun got over. And I took that quote straight from former referee Jimmy Corderas from Twitter. I thought that was so good, I put it as our title.
Yeah. Jimmy Corderas, legend.
Yeah. So there was burials, but there was a birth tonight too. So,
and actually, this is going to be a very unique review because we're going to have a debut of a character tonight. A debut of a character, a debut of a new person on the show.
What?
We're also going to call in Paul Heyman to talk about his client. Mark will make an appearance. I had to call him in for Finney Balor. I had to call him in. And also the actor, and maybe even Cesar will be on the show. So stay tuned for this SummerSlam review.
There's a lot to think. Cesar might be here. We might not be sure about that, but we'll talk. We'll get to those people. I think it's a 2-match show. I think there was 2 really good matches. The rest we'll get to, but that's just my opinion. Let's get to some comments before we get into the ripping of the booking. Let's see here. Destroyer says, why did Braun not win? The answer to that question is I think they're building up to a big match at WrestleMania, but we'll talk about that in the main event.
I agree with that.
TMB says, my boy Jinder kept the belt. # legend.
Don't hinder the Jinder.
Don't hinder the Jinder. Mr. Mike 307 does not agree, though. He says, why did Nakamura lose? We'll get to that in a minute as well. Destroyer also says, John Jones called out Lesnar. Is Lesnar not going to fight him? I guess it's just a WWE thing. They don't want to promote it. I don't know. That's his after wrestling adventures, so I don't think they want to promote it. TMB, strike here, though, because he did say Big Cash versus Big Show. Should have been the main event. It was match of the year. I know you're joking, but that's a fail. I'm gonna say it's Burlington. I don't know the first name. I'm gonna call you K. He said, I love seeing things I've never seen before. Braun picking up and flipping over the announce table was something I've never seen before, and it was awesome. The entire Fatal 4-Way was fantastic. I would agree. That was an awesome match. T. Clark says, to me, the show was shit and disappointing, except for the Fatal 4-Way and the tag title matches. I would agree there. I feel bad that the Usos versus New Day was on the pre-show. Yeah, I would agree with that. Don't
know why.
I don't either. This is actually the first. I want to bring this up. Tonight was the first night the SmackDown tag team titles were defended on a Big 4 pay-per-view since they were made, and it was on the pre-show. So congratulations for making an absolutely stupid decision by doing that. Let's see here. Katana says Cesar better not be on the show. He's the most over guy. We need Cesar t-shirts. T. Clark says, no cash in from Carmella. Are you effing serious? Yes, we'll get to that.
Yeah, I was looking forward to that. They were dragging it out. They were playing some tricks with our minds at the end there, but we'll get into that as well.
And Carmella was looking smoking. I was looking for that, all right?
Yeah, she was looking real nice. She had the whole Brooklyn fabulous jersey on and didn't even get to show it off.
I was cheesed. And then finally, Henry Mills Chase, Kings Dylan, Mitch, and Kevin. Plus, brother. So yeah, let's go ahead and get started. First off, I want to make a point here. This happened during the pre-show. Opening match was the 6-man tag between the Hardy Boys and Jason Jordan.
There were a total of
5 fans
watching the show.
I wonder who watched TNA though, so that was nice.
4 more people that watched TNA.
It was nice.
Bro, I want to say this though.
Appreciate it.
It reminded me of when me and Mitch went to WrestleMania last year and they had the Ryback Kalisto match, but that at least had some people. This had nobody. Why did they expect people to be here at 4 o'clock Central Time? Would have been 5 o'clock that Eastern Time. Ridiculous. Don't put on a match if you know nobody's going to be there in time. Stupid. Let's get to the main show. We first start off the show with John Cena versus Baron Corbin. I was actually kind of surprised by this. I was wondering exactly what the show was going to start off with. They went with SmackDown. They decided John Cena, Baron Corbin was the best decision to put on here. If you guys remember from SmackDown last week, Baron Corbin lost his Money in the Bank briefcase by roll-up. Distraction by John Cena, roll up by Jinder Mahal to retain the title in blazing quick fashion. It's actually the quickest WWE Championship match of all time, so congratulations. In this match, what I was expecting was Baron Corbin was going to beat the shit out of John Cena so that he could get his revenge on Tuesday night, and put over somebody that needs the spot. I didn't think he was going to win the championship when he got the Money in the Bank, but I wanted him to be put in a position to where if he develops, he could be a big star for SmackDown. We saw about half of that. We saw a very boring match. This match to me was just the shits. I didn't think these two were going to clash all that well, but it was basically Baron's got the offense. John Cena throws in a couple punches. Baron mostly keeps it down, and then John Cena, right when he decides to do something for the match, by knuckle shuffle, it's over. It reminded me a lot of the WrestleMania tag match from this year when him and Nikki Bella were with Miz and Maurice, just basically beat Miz after like 7 minutes of offense by the Miz. This match, I didn't see the point. I thought it was dumb. Thought the booking decision was completely off. I know John Cena still gets a reaction when he's 40 years old at this point, but you got to make new stars at some point and put over a guy at this situation. And I don't understand what the point is. Maybe this is still more heat for backstage. I don't know about that. But I thought this was a boring-ass match. And on top of that, just didn't really get over, and the wrong person won, in my opinion. So yeah, what did you guys think about this opening match between John Cena and Baron Corbin?
For a John Cena match, this had little to no hype and little to no fan reception. Like, as critical as everyone, and including us, want to be on John Cena, all his matches usually have reception from the crowd in a good or a bad way. And this had no reception, like, at all. It almost felt like people were just accepting the fact that Cena was going to bury Corbin in the middle of the ring. And that was going to be it. I mean, like, Corbin had one of the worst weeks in wrestling.
Yeah.
I haven't seen a week this bad for one wrestler in a long time. Sure, he's still collecting a paycheck. At the end of the day, the guy's still getting money. He's still paying the bills and, you know, living life. But professionally, he can't be happy. He was on the road to becoming a world champion. And in 1 week, that's been stripped away from him, and he's been completely buried and gone to the bottom, back to the bottom of the card. They had big plans for him. I don't know what happened with those plans. I will say about Corbin, I haven't been a huge fan of him, but I have seen some good things from him. I think that the character has had decent moments. I think he has a unique look to him. He's tall. He's believable. He has, when he gets intense, he puts on some good, moments in his matches. He's not the greatest wrestler in the world. He's not the greatest promo guy, but he's shown moments, and he's young, and you can build him to do something. So I felt like the best way to book this match, in my opinion, should have been for Corbin to go over in this match. And my opinion would have been to attack Cena right off the jump, because he would have been pissed off after SmackDown, jump him, get after him, and end up winning the match. But that's not what happened. Instead, they had the predictable finish of Cena winning, WWE playing politics once again, Corbin being buried, and one of your younger stars, again, suffering and not being able to get over. Instead, you put the older guy that's already established and soon to be leaving to Hollywood over. Makes no sense to me. Now you're struggling with another young talent, and it makes absolutely zero sense. The match was not good, not exciting. The fans weren't into it. There was little to no storyline, and I just couldn't dig it at all. I thought it sucked.
Yeah, this wouldn't have been the match I would have put on first. Probably would have put on a little bit later. I feel for Baron Corbin. As I said on the Tuesday review, I would have had him beat up John Cena and to get revenge. And I was hoping that you would build a guy that would be actually angry for being screwed out of the Money in the Bank. Because I do think there was something unique about someone losing in that fashion. But the follow-up here, and I think the fans figured it out. We all figured it out. This was the intention, was to bury Baron Corbin. Possibly he's going back to NXT. Maybe, who knows? There was rumors that there's going to be call downs this week, send downs. So we'll have to see that. Rough week for Baron Corbin. Hopefully he can bounce back. But I fear that this was the end of Baron Corbin's legitimate shot at WWE. And he's gone the way of Dolph Ziggler.
Same.
Yeah, it just to me, it didn't make a whole lot of sense. I didn't understand it from a booking perspective, and I think it's petty. If this is the punishment that they're going to give him, just awful. It's not like he's the greatest at everything, but again, it's a young talent versus John Cena. What does John Cena have to offer right now? Like, he does not need another win under his book against a guy like Baron Corbin, who's going to be there for the next probably 10 years, and John Cena will be in Hollywood. Not much sense off of it.
I'm going to ask you guys just a question, though. Did you feel tonight that Baron Corbin put in an effort worthy of staying on the roster?
That's a difficult question. I think he's talented enough. I think he got called up too early, but I think with the right person, he can put on a good feud. You know what I mean? Like, it just depends on who he works. His strengths are good for other people that's their weaknesses, and their strengths help off Corbin's weaknesses. So put on with somebody that's the different with him, it would work. But how do you feel about that?
Yeah, I think he's had little to no character development. Like, he's the lone wolf, but we haven't got into that. And I feel like if Corbin was put in a different era, he would be a good wrestler. Like Attitude Era, you know, Ruthless Aggression Era, even like up until maybe 7 years ago, I think the guy would have been accepted with the fans and he would have been pushed the way that he has been, because I think he has good qualities to him. But with this fan base nowadays that primarily watches the product, they see him not getting over with them at the house shows and at these shows where, you know, let's be honest, they're more into some of the indie wrestlers and stuff like that. And they're not really thinking about what the mainstream audience may be into. And it's just not working. And that's another thing. Like, a guy like Corbin isn't going to get over with his, like, with one interview promo or with like one match alone. You have to give him character development. You have to give him storylines to get over. And they haven't been able to do that for him.
And the worst part is, like, house show matches, the faces are going to get a lot over. It's basically like a crowd goes to see the face at the shows. I don't think heels ever win usually at those kind of shows, but it's baffling. I don't see what this does as a positive for any front. So that's just what I'm going to put out there. Let's get to some comments about this match. Mr. Mike 307 says TNA is dead. GFW will beat out WWE soon. I will give you $5 million because that won't happen.
Mr. Mike, do they have more than like 2,000? Like, do they have, like, how many fans they got watching their show right now? They got 500,000 yet? They got like not even, right? What are they at right now? Like, WWE's struggling, but they're still at, I think they're at 3.5 million right now. So still better than 500,000.
Bro, GFW's got Jim Cornette, though. He's got to break those ratings. Yeah,
did they bring in?
Yeah, they did.
Yeah, he just came in on the last episode. I was watching it because I just wanted to see the product. Katana says Cena dusted off Old Reliable, a.k.a. the Shovel. Rip Corbin. Baron will be coming out wearing a Dwayne Wade jersey soon. Okay.
That's a reference to, what's his name? I can't remember.
Crime Time?
No. Damien Sandow.
Oh,
there you go. Okay. Oh, okay. That makes sense. TMB says, are they pissed at Corbin for talking shit on stupid ass Meltzer on Twitter? That's what I'm hearing. Those are the rumors I'm hearing, unfortunately.
That's not it.
I don't think it's the conversation with Meltzer.
No, I don't think it's that. I think that Vince is pissed off for some reason about him. I don't know what it is, but that's just how I feel.
You remember his match with Nakamura, and I was joking about this with Mitch. Junior needed to have a good match tonight.
Oh, yeah, because everyone that faces Nakamura and loses ends up disappearing. Ziggler,
Corbin, Mahal. So
Mahal's next. Mahal is next.
Yeah, I do think that had. I think that match, to me, I think the way that I'm seeing this, that match with Nakamura might have been the turning point for Corbin.
What happened in that match?
It was awful. It just didn't. They just didn't have any chemistry together.
Okay.
It didn't work.
I haven't seen it, so I don't know. I didn't watch Battleground. I heard it was shit. Of course it is. Our favorite Mark is in the chat. L.I. Yankee King. This show sucked. Okay, I can agree. NXT is better. Fuck main roster WWE. Only a Mark would like NXT, and I will point out Yankee King is a defined Mark, a very huge Mark. He does love the ROH NDC. He
actually calls himself a Mark.
Yeah, so I can't be.
That's a good fan right there. I respect that. You know when you're a Mark. You missed Mr. Norman's comment.
Where's Mr. Norman's comment? I did not. Oh, gay as shit. Hardys that the Hardys were put on the pre-show instead of breaking them as planned.
Can we? Can we talk about the pre-show?
Yeah, well, I think we need to talk about the.
Okay, go ahead.
The New Day and the Usos had arguably the second best match on the show.
Yeah.
And they were in the pre-show, and everybody knew that match was going to be great. And actually, people were into that match more than a majority of the show, the main show. And it was still not on the main show. You have The Miz and the Hardy Boys and Jason Jordan, which is a primary story on Raw, and you have them in the pre-show.
And you pinned Jason Jordan.
And you
on the pre-show. So dumb. I can't stand this company. Clark says Corbin is fucked big time. No charisma, no entertaining value for Corbin. Cena is done with SmackDown, possibly. I don't know about that. I mean, no charisma. I don't know about that. Let's see here. WWE boys in the chat. What's up, brother? It's been a minute. We're having a lot of wrestlers in our chat. Dean Ambrose and AJ Styles have gotten in here. I don't know how. T. Clark, and I'm going to point this out. This is a good comment. I feel like the crowd wasn't into 85% of the show. What a bad time to be a wrestling fan. Like, this crowd was dead. They were not alive till the main show, or the main event, which I don't blame them on some points, but other times I'm like, come on now, get into it.
They were into the tag match.
Yeah, which is a good thing because they actually built
the tag match.
They built that up, actually.
Yeah.
Rashida Talks Wrestling says, hey, what's up? Flossie Ash says, I fell asleep through multiple matches and ended up on the Finn versus Wyatt match. Man, that is what wrestling has come to in 2017. That would not happen if the Attitude Era was here. Sean C's in the chat. Yay. Don't call me an ass clown. Let's see.
Brother,
TMB.
you know why Kevin the ass clown over at your house? That's
Whoa. TMB says, save Neville from 205 Live. He'd be one of the best heels on TV. Agreed. Mr. Norman Jackson 07 says, the crowd sucked. Looked horrible compared to the late 90s pay-per-views, of course. Mr. Mike 307, it doesn't matter if GW's on the come-up. They will never, ever.
It is a bad time to be a WWE fan, but that doesn't mean GFW, who's been trying to beat them for like 20 years, is going to beat them.
Ain't gonna happen. Ain't gonna happen. Next match on the card, we have the SmackDown Women's Championship. I was kind of surprised they went with another SmackDown match. Naomi versus Natalya. Feel the glow, baby, except not in this match. This was, up until a certain point, one of the better matches on the show, and that's pretty disappointing. I don't even know what to say about this match. It was good it was decent. I thought it was going to be way worse, so that's good. Naomi put on a good showing. Thought that was good to see. But Natalya is the SmackDown Women's Champion.
Yep.
Yep. I feel like the king of the hill segments where they're just all like, yep. Yep.
Yeah, like I don't really know what to say about that. Like honestly, I kind of coming in, I thought that this would be kind of what it turned out to be, a decent match overall. I think Natalya, her strong suit is in the ring. Naomi, her strong suit is also in the ring with some of the athletic stuff she can do. I think she really showed off in this match that she is one of the better workers in women's wrestling right now. Definitely showed that off. But this, the match was okay. The straight up finish, I liked how Naomi cried at the end, and then Natalya had the whole thing at the end of that. I thought that was good. I think they're gonna have a couple more matches, and Naomi might even get go over on her too. We'll see what happens with it. But I'm pretty sure Naomi and Natalya are like pretty close friends in real life, because I just seen the stuff from like Total Divas with them, and they seem like they're pretty close. So I feel like they kind of always wanted to have a feud like this. I think they do have some chemistry, but I'm not a fan of Natalya being champion in 2017. I've never really been a fan of it. I think there's a lot of other women's wrestlers that deserve that title and are better than Natalya at this point. I don't get it. You're not really, I don't know. What are you doing with it? Natalya's a heel. The Money in the Bank winner is also a heel. What are we trying to set up with this? That's my question.
Yeah.
Maybe your triple threat this at some point with Carmella, Naomi, and Natalya. It wasn't a it was a boring match for the most part. I did like the end when Natalya kissed the belt and kind of rubbed it in her face. I think one of the things that I'm appreciating more about Natalya is I think she's developing a character that you're a little snarky, little cocky, little all of those little negative things she's bringing out, which I think is fine. And Naomi had an opportunity to show her athleticism. They're not the two best women necessarily on the roster, certainly on the SmackDown roster. But I don't see this as a long reign for Natalya. I probably is going to go back to Naomi quickly on some point in time. But they felt tonight was the night for Natalya. And I do actually think, I know that a lot of people are going to disagree with me, but I think maybe keeping the Money in the Bank off is fine. I mean, we just had that cash in on Tuesday, so you have time to work with that. You don't need to do that. You didn't necessarily need to do that tonight.
No, you don't need to do it tonight. I just think it wouldn't be the best idea to have Carmella win it off of Natalya.
Right, because it's heel. Yeah.
It's heel. I think it's more effective when it's a face. So maybe they do kind of have a feud with Naomi, Natalya for a little bit. Naomi wins it back. Maybe Carmella cashes in, or maybe they're just waiting forever with this gimmick with Carmella. And but I want to see if this is indeed not happening soon for Carmella. I want Carmella in a feud. I don't want her just sticking around the title scene because she needs to be effectively used on the show, building her up to championship status. So,
well, it's like at the end of last year when they had not only a women's feud for the title, but they had a secondary women's feud so they can get more people on the show and say to these, let's do a fatal five-way match for the 5th time tonight. Like, I hate that shit. So hopefully they can get a feud for Carmella. What I'm predicting, maybe, this is just how I'm putting it, maybe they do a rematch for the women's title on Tuesday for SmackDown. Naomi wins it, and then Carmella cashes it in.
That's possible too.
That's just what I'm throwing out there. I'm not a fan of Natalya either. It's always the, hey, look, I'm Bret Hart's, second cousin or some shit like that. I've always never been a fan of.
Though a lot, I think.
What's that?
Yeah, Kev's a fan of Natalya.
I think that she's moved away from the Bret Hartness, the Hart part, and I think she's starting to establish her own identity. I think she's getting better at doing that. I think that used to be, they used to do that with Teddy, with Tyson Kidd and Davey Boy and Harry Smith. They did that too a lot and kind of affiliated them with Bret Hart. But I think the last couple of years, she's moved away and is trying to establish her own identity.
My question is, how far has Charlotte fallen?
Well, once the face turn happened
there with her dad, I wondered if that was something to do with that too.
I guess, but ever since going to SmackDown, she has not been in the spotlight.
No, because she's been she's went and turned as a face, and then they just haven't done anything.
Yeah, Charlotte.
She's in.
Yeah, it doesn't really work.
Becky Lynch was on a KFC audition.
Yes.
Hey, it's time for Becky Lynch. I don't know. God. Can they put her in the women's title? I'm sorry. That's just my own personal rant. I'm not a fan of Natalya. I will say to Kev's point, I like that she's attempting to do something other than the Hart thing. But I don't think she's very good at it. The one feud that I've liked her in the last 6 years was that feud with Nikki Bella. I thought that was quite good.
Because it had an actual storyline.
Exactly. Exactly. I saw those freaking concession stand brawls. That was good. But yeah, her promo work I think is awful, which is a lot of people on this roster, especially except for Becky Lynch and a couple other people. They're awful on the mic, awful. But Natalya, I just don't think is doing really anything. I think to me she's gonna be a transitional champion. I don't know how you feel, how everybody else feels about that. That's just my opinion. I don't think she does anything that great. Besides, she can be in the ring. She's pretty decent. But overall, never been a big fan of her. And in 2017, man, 2017, it's kind of shocking she won the belt. But rest of the people, let's get to some comments. Mr. Mike 307 still trying to convince me that GFW – just stop it, buddy. Just stop. Flossie Ash said a bunch of matches were boring as hell. True. WWE Boy, we'll get to that Big Show, Big Cass match. I think it was the worst match tonight. I will say that. Katana said, why did Natalya win? That made 0 sense. I think we just described it. TMB says, thank God Naomi lost the belt. Now we can get rid of her stupid belt and awful promos. Wow.
I with her belt. It fits her gimmick.
It fits her gimmick, yeah. That's the thing.
Okay, I won't defend her promos because they are cheesy as hell. I don't think they're bad necessarily, but they're cheesy.
They're stereotypical. It's like, I'm gonna pull her hair and all that shit. It's like, I don't know how I feel about it. Flossie Ash says, how could there be that many matches and only 2 great matches? That's how WWE works today. Mr. Mike 307 says, I hope Natalya keeps the belt the way it looks with the glow. I don't think that would make any sense, but just how
probably put like a cat on it or something.
Oh, God, stop. T. Clark says, I would like Naomi versus Charlotte or Naomi versus Becky Lynch. Just saying. Hey, you get a fan. Natalya is at least getting one last run as champ. That might be the case. Let's see here. TMB says, have to leave early, so I have to put in that Ginger's the GOAT. We'll see you, brother. Jeremy Hansman, who was the most heel wrestler ever? I have no idea how to answer that question.
The most heel wrestler, like the best heel ever?
Yeah, I guess that's what I mean.
Woo! No, well, Vince McMahon.
Yeah.
Ric Flair would be the best wrestler.
It's me, Austin.
The best character would be Vince, I would say.
It's me, Austin. Oh, that son of a bitch. Okay. Burlington says, these days, a WWE superstar can be made in the main event at a pay-per-view 1 month. On the pre-show, or he can main event a pay-per-view 1 month and be on the pre-show the next month. And back in the main event the following month with no explanation whatsoever. Unfortunately, that's pretty true. Braun Strowman went from being in a big pay-per-view match at Fastlane to being on the pre-show of WrestleMania to being in the main event of Payback. That's how it works today. And also, Braun Strowman's in the chat. I'm funny about that.
Braun!
We're going to get to... Oh, so good tonight. So good.
Oh, yeah. We had an idea for Braun's theme song. So they should have Braun and then have burn it to the ground. Like Seth Rollins. And at the end, we have to have I'm not
finished with you
yet.
Yes. Mr. Mike 307, Natty does not have the best body. I will argue that every day, and I'm not even this is a wrestling show.
I will say Naomi has the nicest booty.
Thick. WWE Boy says, not gonna lie, I was actually rooting for Roman to win tonight. Also Strowman. Let's see here. Mr. Norman also puts in a good comment. Alexa Bliss lost, but got the best booty in WWE. She's quite up there. For her size, she's up there for sure. Austin Allen says, Vince is quite the heel. And he said, I'd like to say the biggest heel was Shawn Michaels, but people actually like him. You mean that as a person?
How that makes sense.
I guess he means as a person. I don't know. That's weird.
The best heels, obviously Roman Reigns. No, just kidding.
Yes! Let's
yeah. My top 3 would be Vince, Flair, and Triple H.
I will tell you, I think one of the great heel moments was Shawn Michaels returning to Montreal during that Hogan.
Shawn was a good heel, but yeah.
That was
awesome.
That was epic.
But Shawn was like in the middle between a heel, and that was just Shawn Michaels. Like he was sort of a heel, but sort of just him at the same time, you know? Especially like his next Shawn Michaels.
Dang, that shit was great. Guys, let's talk about the most boring match on the show. Big Show versus Big Cass with Enzo in his shark cage. This had so many problems with it. We just have to dissect this, okay? First off, we get a decent promo by Enzo. Last year, he was in the all Drake outfit, which I did appreciate. This year, he was in the new life. He's got the whole thug thing. He had a couple of poop emojis on his shorts. I thought that was quite funny. he cut a good promo to start off. You know, got the crowd a little bit excited because I barely heard them in the first 2 matches. We got at least a little bit of a pop here. And then Cass came out. He decided today that he was going to eat all 3 packets of Chips Ahoy cookies because this man was looking bloated.
Stay off the cookies. Carmella must be a good baker.
This man, like, oh my God, I saw so many memes and GIFs. It was ridiculous. He looked more fat tonight than I've seen him in a while. Big Show came out. Nobody cared about him as a face. Like, no crowd reaction whatsoever. And this is weird because this is one of the most built-up matches on the show. Like, they've been doing this thing for a while. But just a baffling decision here. I was not a whole fan of the crowd reaction here. But, man, when we got to that match, it was fucking boring. We got into the same situation that we did when they had their one match 2 weeks ago, where it was a very punchy, kicky affair. Just, hey, here's a punch. Oh, here's a kick. Oh, another punch. Oh, a third punch. Oh, my God, is the action ever going to start? Like, it just was not a fun match to watch. I was watching with other people here tonight, and they were all on their phones, like, oh, what's going to happen next? You know, like, waiting for something good to happen. These guys just got lazy. Then they decided to do the Enzo spot, which I was curious because the cage wasn't that high up off the ground. It was probably 4 or 5 feet up above the ring or where they were standing.
I actually heard that they put Enzo in the cage because Enzo said he was afraid of heights. So they wanted to, of course, do something to piss him off.
This is Vince McMahon comedy. Funny. He doesn't like heights. Do you get the joke? Holy shit. That's like 1940s comedy. That's vaudevillains comedy right there. Awful. Abysmal. But then they decided to do more comedy by having Enzo Amore strip down to everything possible, using baby oil to get out of chains.
Sort of embarrassing.
It is embarrassing. I think that's what they want to do. Because, like, okay, imagine I actually had a couple people that are very casual fans, and they watch the spot, and they're like, what the fuck is this? And I'm like, bro, I can't explain it. I don't like it either. So he slides out, gets to the ground, and proceeds to just get booted right in the face.
And then he's okay. The funny thing about this is the match didn't end for like another
2 minutes,
15 seconds.
Yeah.
And he was knocked out that whole time. So like you could have counted 3 on him like 3 or 4 times, and you would have beat him 3 or 4 times with that one boot to the face. Enzo is buried beyond belief. But I will say this, the most entertaining part of the match was Enzo talking and chirping Cass when he was in the cage.
You know what would have been the best part of the night? If he had called him up from the cage and be like, Big Cass, you're fat. You're fat. That would have been amazing. This guy,
I would have given 5 stars just for that.
This was the falling of Enzo Amore just to get booted in the face was rendered ultimately pointless when he did nothing else in the match, like you pointed out. Big Cass hits a big boot on Big Show for only a 2, and then decides to hit another one and an Empire elbow, and it's over. Big Cass.
I have a question. I was questioning this during the match. Why did they protect Big Show with such, like, they made sure they protected him?
He's not going to have another match.
He had the hurt hand, was dominating the majority of the beginning of the match with the hurt hand. Every time he couldn't execute his move properly, they would talk about the hand, the commentary team. He hit a choke slam. He hit a knockout punch. He couldn't pin Cass. They continue to put over the hand. They continue to protect Big Show. And in a way, what you're doing in this match is you're not really fully getting over Cass because Big Show is not looked at as 100%, and you're even more burying Enzo. So, like, does this really help Cass a ton? No, because you continue to protect Big Show.
And it was weird, like, why? Big Show's not going to be in an important feud later on. Like, this could be his last feud, maybe one more, but I mean, there's no the reason to have this feud was to get Big Cass over in a big way, right? And then it's like, well, if Big Show had not had the hurt hand with that WMD, it would have been over. It was ridiculous.
Okay, I want to talk about the promo from the beginning because I actually thought that was one of Enzo's worst promos. It was too long.
It was too long.
Way too long, in my opinion. I was like, my gosh, is Cass coming out or what are we doing here? Like, come on. I didn't think Cass was all that great. And I actually thought if it wasn't for Show's hand, there was this match, there wouldn't have been anything interesting.
Yeah, there was no story.
Yeah.
Story to this match. And it was kind of entertaining. Enzo was kind of entertaining in the cage, but not necessarily fully. And I just felt, to be honest with you, the whole thing with Enzo jumping out of the shark cage was a symbolic of his burial. It was like he's hanging from the cage and he's about to drop, and Vince, via Big Cass, is giving him a big boot in the face, and he's done naked, and that was symbolically over. This felt to me that this was the intention of this was to bury Enzo in a most
that's smart
sort of way.
But guys, burials on this show, smart booking. They did it 3 times in 4 matches.
How smart is it to have the best guy you have on the microphone just get completely buried? I mean, that's just a great use of talent, in my opinion.
I mean, that's the way to go to today. We're going to bury people. 3 people in 4 matches. And this guy's the most talented on the mic. I shouldn't care this much. But this is a show I watch weekly, so I want it to get better. But with booking decisions like this, it can't get better. No. I thought this was I think this is the worst match tonight. It was boring to me. I was on my phone most of the time because I could not have cared. They made Enzo look like a complete buffoon. And then when he got down, he got kicked in the face, test style. So, yeah, this match was straight butt cheeks. Let's look at some of the comments for this.
There is something to be said for Big Show's hand and how he handles that I do think leads me to wonder if experience is a big factor here with both what Cass and Enzo are missing. Because at least Show was able to tell the story with his hand.
Yeah.
And
Big Show's a pro, man. Big Show's one of the best of all time.
Yeah, and Cass, I still don't know why I'm supposed to hate Big Cass. He's big. Am I supposed to hate him because he's 7 feet tall?
You're supposed to hate him because he turned on Enzo and he ruined that tag team. That's the story.
But
Kevin,
Enzo's
you're supposed to hate him.
Why?
Well, according to WWE, Enzo's an ass. That's a good point, Kev. I was frustrated and beyond frustrated at the commentary team because they never put Enzo over. Corey Graves legitimately hates him. Booker T is supposed to be the face and doesn't say anything. And by the way, so there's fans of Corey Graves out there. He fucking sucks. He's not a face. He's not a heel. He just puts himself over every match. The commentary he did on NXT TakeOver, he goes out there. And the first thing he says is, oh, yeah, I remember when I was NXT Tag Team Champion. Yeah, he just puts himself over every match. Pick your role on the show. Be a character. And that's to all of you, not just Corey Graves. Booker T, you're one of the greatest wrestlers of all time, okay? You be the face. Everybody likes Booker T. Put over Enzo.
Or
Shucky ducky, quack, quack.
Clear aside. Have a story on the commentary. Have people arguing. Like, over Enzo's good, Enzo sucks, Cass sucks, Cass is good. Like, what happened to just the fundamentals of commentary? And, like, I don't know if they were told to not put Enzo over.
That's the thing I'm
saying. It definitely seemed like it.
I felt that there was a lack of passion. Like,
the whole night, the commentary was brutal.
Like, you go back to Jerry Lawler and his heel days in the Attitude Era, Bobby Heenan, Jesse Ventura, Piper when he did it, Savage when he did it. There was like some passion and anger, and they got you invested in the story. And I didn't feel tonight, like, I felt like Corey would say something and Booker T would go, ah! he lost. Byron Saxton was, I'm informed,
Oh,
was
what's-
an insider.
what- yeah,
he was an
he-
insider. He didn't give me any inside information.
He's an insider, according to.
He's the Mike Tenay of this
The
group.
best commentator was JBL.
Yeah, he has been consistently.
Bro, Tom Phillips
That thing.
created the line of the.
It's Michael Cole,
Yeah.
to be honest.
Shocking.
And by the way, I think the whole show. Part of it in my mind, I was thinking was because the finishes were bad. But the finishes wouldn't be so bad if the commentary actually put it over.
Yeah.
They're talking about a finishing maneuver and a finishing the finish of a match like it's the middle or the beginning, the first move.
Yeah.
Like JR would go nuts when like a stunner or a rock bottom or pedigree, something it's big, right?
There was a catchphrase. Even when Triple H was a face, JR would say, "You're about to get your pedigree check." Right?
Yeah.
There was a certain passion that I feel is missing from current commentary right now that we're not. And as much as people are laughing at GFW with what's going on with JB and Josh Matthews, hate what they've done, but at least there was some passion and they got you invested in them. It feels like these people feel like Pat Summerall, which is appropriate for NFL, but not appropriate for WWE.
I like JB. JB is really good. I will put up one more thing for commentary. When the comment that most gets talked about for commentary tonight is that we should be calling Shinsuke Swagsuke, I want to kill myself. Let's look at some comments here. Flossie Ash did point out Hollywood Hulk Hogan, underrated heel, indeed. Pretty vibe. Pretty vibe.
Yeah, Holland.
Hogan, I would say, Hogan and also Rock would be in my top 5 too.
Yes. Let's see here. Mr. Mike 307, I have not seen Unbreakable Mondays. I don't know what that is. Austin Allen puts over the fact that he's Canadian, so Shawn Michaels literally had him upset so many times in the 90s with the Hart Foundation. Indeed. Mr. Mike says, Roman is the top heel right now for sure. I'm telling you, he is. He is. Let's see, getting a couple of comments from this match. Henry Mills Chase says, the only thing funny about the Big Show and Big Cass match was Enzo dancing in the cage. Again, those were probably the only entertaining things of this match. Well, let's talk about this here. Since the shakeup is happening, WWE Boy says Bobby Roode apparently is going to SmackDown at some point. How do you guys feel about that?
Yeah, it definitely seems like him and also the Authors of Pain are going to SmackDown.
I love Bobby Roode.
I'm a fan of both. So
yeah, I am a fan of both as well. They're great. Kev?
I think the Authors of Pain will fit in SmackDown. I actually would like to see Bobby Roode on Raw, though.
There's too many wrestlers on.
Yeah, I think you get lost in the shuffle.
To kind of
the problem though is you're gonna set Bobby Roode up with AJ, which has been done, Nakamura, which has been done. There's a lot of stuff that has been done.
Well, AJ hasn't been done on the main roster, and you can create better stories with it. You can create something different with it if they want to. That's a key word. But
I want to give a shout out to WWE Boy who said, "Yo, Mitch, nice fresh cut, bro. Thanks, bro."
Oh, okay. Ooh. Mr. Mike says, it's the Big Show. He's like your uncle you see all the time. You love him, but you know he's been there forever. Well, that's just depressing. But yeah, you're right. He is great. He's great. Dan Bones says, Jinder Nakamura saved the show.
I actually thought that match wasn't bad, but we'll get to it.
It wasn't bad, but it didn't save the show. Main event did. Let's see here. Austin Allen says, I bet Big Show in his prime would smash Ken Shamrock. I don't even know the comparisons between the two.
Well, Ken Shamrock's a legit fighter. That's what he's saying.
Yeah.
Nobody's
saying Big Show would smash Ken Shamrock.
Yeah, that's what he's saying. Like, Big Show was so tough in his prime that even without legitimate training, he would beat an MMA fighter.
Okay.
I think so, maybe. I don't think it would smash him, but I think he would win. Just he's so big.
He's huge. WWE Boy with a great comment. Damn, Kathy Kelly was looking beautiful at SummerSlam Access. Indeed.
Boy, he's on the bandwagon. He keeps messaging me these Kathy Kelly questions. Bro, we know already, all right? I tweet every show I tweet, put her on TV. And by the way, that shitty commentator chick from SmackDown had an interview on this SummerSlam. Kathy Kelly is 10 times better than that SmackDown chick. Get her on the show, right, Kev?
Right.
Kev knows.
I know.
Dan Bones, how does Big Show never put over anybody when he lost tonight? Gonna ask you that. Let's see
Just
here.
to do it.
Because he hasn't put over anybody before.
Big Show is one of the most unselfish wrestlers. I don't think you have to worry about that.
Yeah, for sure. Dirty Boy says, this is a good question. What was the point of the club coming out on Raw if they didn't show up at SummerSlam? I wouldn't have liked that either because it makes Cass look even weaker, but what was the point in last week? I don't know. Let's see. Here, looking at some other comments. Big Show is like the Cleveland Browns, where prospects/rookies go to die. That is.
I don't see it. There's been numerous careers made off the Big Show.
Yeah, I don't get that.
Big Show's even put on, like Big Show's even, he's that guy that at WrestleMania wrestles in the weirdest match.
Mm-hmm. This is a good part. Or this is a good comment. Mr. Mike 37. I bet Show is pissed that he's in the best shape of his life and they won't give him one final championship run. That's depressing. Old guys making good points, only calling him old because I don't know his name. I'm new here. That's from Ryan Rogerson. I'm thinking he's talking about you, Kev. That's the old. You're older than us.
Yeah. Thank you. Sort of. I think we call that a backhanded compliment.
It went halfway. I think he could have just said blue shirt, but he's giving you a compliment. Austin Allen gonna get some heat for me. Says Big Show is my second favorite of all time, right behind Brett. If you put an S in front of Hitman, you have my exact thoughts on Bret Hart. I will keep saying that forever. Let's see. Oh, he calls you now Montreal guy. You're Montreal. That's good.
He had a hand in the screw job.
You got a fan here, baby. I like that. Jesus, Dan Bones, why are you going in so hard on my man's Big Show? He says, why does this business like this big fat fucker so much? Like, chill out, brother. Chill out. He's good. Big Show versus Sheamus. Big Show versus Sheamus. No one to sell 2012. I will say that. Mr. Mike 307. Let's have a chat right now. Bayley doesn't need to turn heel. You marks just need to realize she's great. Okay. I have never seen a more ass backwards comment in my life. I haven't. Also,
she was booed more than any women's wrestler on the show, so therefore she should be turned heel.
It would be better suited for her to turn heel because
it is crazy idea, Dylan. But this is how I feel. The way that the fans react to the wrestler is maybe how they should be booked.
That's not.
What?
Suggesting that you listen to the fans? Like, what's going on?
Maybe I don't.
Never.
Oh gosh, that's ridiculous.
Never, bro. I mean, are you kidding me? No. Bayley is not a good promo. You telling somebody give me one example of a good Bayley promo, and I'll shake your
hug life, bro.
If she was a heel, that hug life would be quite fascinating.
She goes up to the kids in the crowd, starts hugging.
Or fake hugging them.
Yeah.
Like go up to the kid and like, hi, and then it's like fake.
Yeah.
Fake 5. Like that would be great.
This is how you do a heel turn this easily. You go to the ring one night and be like, I only cared about the fans so that I can get myself over, I can make myself a star and put myself on the next level and be the next John Cena. Boom. It's not complicated. But then again, you don't know how to act and you don't know how to cut a promo, so it might even be difficult for Bayley. That's just how I'm here. That's just what I'm going to say here. Dan Bone with the last comment here. It says Bailey is ass cheeks, literally and figuratively. Very nice, very nice. That's the one thing she does have, but a lot of other women do have that as well. So, Braun Strowman just subscribed to the Bottom Line View. I want to thank Braun Strowman.
Red shirt, blue shirt,
gray shirt. That's a great comment.
Hold on, we're not finished with you. We'll get to you in a little bit.
We're not finished with your match. In fact, we're going to the next segment. Kurt Angle and Daniel Bryan backstage. These guys, Kurt Angle was on the phone. Daniel Bryan comes in, and Bryan said that SmackDown's going to steal the show due to the WWE Championship match. And Angle says the Universal title match is going to be epic. And then they do a yes, no, yes, no. It was very Markish spot, but I thought it was quite funny because these guys are quite good at comedy. I thought it was a good segment. What says the Bottom Line View from the other side? What would we have in mind for this segment?
Women's match, I think. Oh, Dylan, I'm here.
Whoa! Is it the actor?
Here now, I am here now to speak. It is
the actor.
It is I, the actor.
Yes.
Actor, yes. And I have advice for two people today.
Okay.
First one, Kurt Angle.
Okay.
Kurt Angle, you cannot stand there and look like you're reading your script. I am excited about the match tonight. You have to have passion. You must feel the moment. You must feel realness when you speak, Kurt Angle. That's what acting is. Be in your character, Kurt Angle. Be in your character. Not read from script. Oh, terrible. Is fake? Yes, no. Ugh. Makes me want to vomit. And Daniel Bryan, or as he calls himself in Southpaw Regional Wrestling, Mr. Red Beret, I have something to say to you. You claim you're the only one to play Beret? Me from Montreal. Dylan, do you know anyone from Montreal? Montreal. Do you understand that?
You are.
Beret. I challenge Mr. Beret from Southpaw Regional Wrestling to a match. I show him how to do Beret, man.
A match.
A duel.
Wow.
A duel.
What's your finisher?
My finisher is the pen drop. You go down. You go down, Beret man. You go down.
Holy shnikes, the actor giving us a Kurt Angle and Daniel Bryan lesson. Interesting stuff. There's Mitch. I don't know where he went when the actor was.
I had to give the actor his room. He told me he needs to be in perfect conditions, great lighting, good temperature in the room. Also, he has to have the camera to himself. As he's the actor.
Very true. Very true. Oh. And then there's Cavill. Where was this man? I mean,
there's something there.
He's wearing the same shirt, conveniently enough. One comment. By the way, very excited the actor was here. Very happy the actor was here. Chauncey says Kathy Kelly does have a boyfriend, Finn Balor. I bet Finn Balor doesn't suck on her toes. That's all I'm gonna say. That's who Finn Balor is. I just saw that on.
Wait, no, they're not. They're not dating.
They are dating, actually.
We would know about it if they were dating.
No, it was like a private thing, like when Dean Ambrose and Renee.
I heard they went on. Like I saw a picture of them together, but I don't know if that's enough to say that they're dating.
No, it's true. I'm telling you.
How do you know?
That's just the thing. Like they're trying to keep it secret.
I saw a picture of it like last year, wasn't it? Like last year?
I don't remember when it was, but it's like when before Dean and Renee went public. That's like that kind of thing.
Okay, I feel like if they were dating for a year, we would have heard about it by now. But I don't know. We'll see.
The reason I made that joke, by the way, is because I saw it online. I thought it was funny as shit. You know what's not funny as shit though? Great segue. Orton versus Rusev. Man, what do I even say about this? Okay, so this feud wasn't that much built up. I don't know what Mitch is laughing over there, but
I have a feeling our next character is coming up.
Oh, I can't wait. This feud was not all that built up. I was not really excited for this match. However, I do like Rusev and I do like Orton, so I was like, all right, match set. Randy Orton comes out. Rusev beats the shit out of Randy Orton before the match even starts. Clobbers him. Throws him into the post. Gets him out. Down and out. Ready to go. Randy Orton's like flailing around and like on the ground in the ring. The referee's trying to call to see if the match is going to get started. Finally, Randy Orton stands up. Bell rings. Rusev comes over to try to go attack Randy Orton. Boom! RKO out of nowhere. 1, 2, 3. So many problems with this one scenario. Why are you burying your talent? It's Rusev. Randy Orton does not need this victory. Rusev is good. I heard he wants to get released because he's getting buried, and this was a bigger burial than Baron Corbin. This guy went from, I want a WWE Championship match for Money in the Bank or I'm leaving, to not getting that match and losing to Randy Orton in less than 10 seconds. What a great job to make a star. Again, John Cena, Randy Orton, they didn't need to win these matches, or at the very least, Randy Orton could have won in a competitive match with Rusev. But no, we don't know how to book a good star. We've never known how to book Rusev correctly, and loses to Randy Orton in like 10 seconds. Ridiculous. It might have been out of nowhere, but that's Randy Orton's thing, right? So we got to keep building that up. It was stupid. It was ridiculous. And Rusev is a great talent that you're wasting. Completely wasting. This isn't the worst match because it wasn't really a match, but it was the worst segment of tonight. Let's get over to the Montreal crew. Where's what we got here?
We are gathered here today to pay our respects for the memories of Rusev, Baron Corbin, and Enzo Amore, as they have lived wonderful lives in the WWE, but have been buried today. May their lives be rest in peace, and their families be safe in this time of grief and condolences. Amen.
I've never laughed never laughed as much in a funeral service as I just did there.
That's sad. Sad day. Okay. Thank you to the priest for coming out here today.
Thank you, priest. I was not expecting that. Good character. Mitch, explain your boy Rusev losing tonight.
Yeah, I'm pissed. You know, the guy, I've been saying this since day one, bro. I'm wearing the Orton shirt, but I wanted Rusev to win. All right? I'm a huge fan of Rusev. Yeah, some priest came in.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Whoa.
You know, the condolences.
Oh.
He talked about Rusev and the like. But Rusev, he has the hottest chick in WWE. And, you know, sometimes people get jealous and they take it out on you and you just get buried. And that's what happened. Hashtag Breakfast Club rules, bitches. Randy Orton comes in, hits the RKO. 1, 2, 3, it's over. Do we really need to, in 2017, establish and put over Randy Orton in this fashion? I love Randy Orton. Again, one of the greatest of all time. Still going to be established win or loss in this match. People are still going to love him. People are still going to watch his matches, still watch his segments. Rusev needs to go over here. I do not get what you are trying to accomplish with Randy Orton winning this match. Rusev has a ton of potential. Rusev has a ton of talent. And I feel like this could be a main event championship star for you. And instead, you continue to bury this guy with Cena, Orton, and everyone else. And it's very frustrating. I love Rusev, but it's almost time to give up on him in a Dolph Ziggler-like fashion. And the priest is totally right.
Remember, it was almost a year and a half ago. The Rock comes out to that same arena, actually.
Ooh, good point.
That promo for Rusev and Lana. That's how hot Rusev was. Yeah. The Rock showed a spontaneous moment, and you felt like The Rock was going to face Rusev. Like, he was that up there. He was that on fire. and doing so well with that character, Lana, with that Rusev crush, and I think, I don't know what has happened here. I don't know what Rusev has done to anger anybody, but this guy, to me, still has a lot of potential. To me, I think people still enjoy him, but for some unknown reason, buried tonight. And imagine, I really think that people understood it was a terrible.
And I think it could have been a good match.
It would have been a good match, I think. Yeah, I think people would have legitimately enjoyed this match.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was. I was looking at another echo. I hate that shit. I mean, I like both guys. I think they're very talented. I think Rusev is good in the ring. There wasn't much storyline to this, but it could have been decent. And said the Priest came in tonight, put 3 burials in 4 matches. Crazy, just sad, very sad. Let's get to some comments. Let's see here. Mr. Mike says, maybe it'll send Orton on a monster run, resulting in him winning the Money in the Bank next year. I don't know. Like, what do you do with Orton at this point? I don't see, like, they're not going to put him in a world title. I don't even know if they have a feud ready for him. I don't know. Does anybody have any plans for Mr. Randall Keith Orton? I cannot hear you.
He can always do something, but I don't really know, like, what. He still has AJ Styles to face. I think that would be a feud that a lot of people would be interested in. Besides that, maybe like a Bobby Roode once he comes out. That would be nice.
Yeah, true.
Who else, though? The thing about Randy Orton is he pretty much done it all. And maybe, like, at a WrestleMania, he'll have a good match with someone, but I don't really know. You know,
I know they were not going to do it because he's already in a feud, but I would like to see Randy versus AJ. I think that would be a great feud.
Yeah, that's what I said.
Go there now.
Yeah, that's what I said. I think you could go there right now, but I don't know. We'll see. I just think, like, Randy shouldn't be utilized. He shouldn't be getting over on wrestlers that need the win. You know, like, Randy doesn't need wins anymore. He's a 14-time world champion.
16?
No, he's 14.
Okay.
He doesn't need, like, any more wins. Just, he should be used to get other guys over at this point in his career. He's still a big star, and you have to wonder, is the problem with not, you know, having Randy Orton win is because they fear that they don't have enough stars? And they think that they can't have a guy like Randy Orton lose because they still need him?
But what does that mean? But you're costing another wrestler that's up and coming. Like, I don't see the booking in that decision. I get what you're saying, but they got to put somebody over at this point. Like, in 2 matches, you had Randy Orton and John Cena, guys that have been there for 15 years. Like you said, don't need these wins. And you have 2 up-and-coming talents that you can produce on. Rusev has given you some great stuff. And completely wasted them and effectively buried them. I don't see the point. Sid Henry gives another glowing review to Kevo, saying, dang, Kevin's got more charisma than Finn Balor.
There you go, Kathy Kelly upgrade.
Woo! There it is. Mr. Mike got the joke that you do wear black at a funeral. Let's see here. Jobber Alvarez. Terrible show. G1 Climax was so much better. Yeah. Totally. Mr. Mike just going off on Vince. I don't know. But yeah, I just dumb booking decision. Not a fan of it. We did see Sasha and Bayley backstage hugging it because hopefully we're going to build to this feud if ever possible. But Bayley
honestly, I thought that Bayley was attacking Sasha when she took like 2 minutes to come out.
Freaking what the heck was that?
I don't even know. That was weird. But Bayley got booed. Like, she got just booed out of the ballpark. It was crazy, but it was funny to see. Raw Women's Championship, Alexa Bliss versus Sasha Banks. The feud? Has there been a feud? No. Not just because WWE has done nothing with it, but because they've had no time to build this feud. Because the last 2 pay-per-view matches that these 2 women have had, the feud came batshit out of nowhere. Congratulations. This is how you succeed in booking. I thought this match was actually pretty good. I was enjoying what both women could do. I think they're both good women's wrestlers. And they had a good match for what it was. They got the crowd to actually pop, which is something that they had not done on the main show for a while. But at the very end, it came kind of out of nowhere with the bank statement. Alexa Bliss tapped out to the bank statement, and Sasha Banks, in what I thought was predictable fashion, won the women's championship on pay-per-view, which will mean
she will lose it
at
regular TV.
That's the swerve,
Probably in Boston.
Bro, that's the swerve. They got her to win on pay-per-view so that she could lose on Raw. Because you see, we did that opposite with Charlotte. I thought it was a good match. I enjoyed what they can do. I think Alexa Bliss is very underrated when it comes to in-ring work because everybody says she's can't do anything.
Yeah, okay, Dylan, I don't get this.
Mm-hmm.
What is the huge difference between Sasha's ring work and Alexa's?
Because Sasha is the boss. And see, she was here first. That's what the marks will say. I don't know. I thought it was,
not in the 4 horsewomen. Like, why do people say that Alexa can't, wrestle in the ring? Like, I don't see it at all. She's athletic. She does unique moves. She has charisma in the ring. She gets the fans' attention. She gets them booing. She gets them in the match. I don't understand it.
I liked her finishing sequence tonight.
Yeah, I thought the last part of the match was really good. I in that stretch.
This is where I think one of the areas of the commentating was very weak because that
finish was so weak. I was like, whoa, that just the match just ended.
Shit out of
nowhere. And again, like we talked about earlier, like Kev's just gonna say, it's because the announced team.
It was a quick counter, and Sasha tapped, and it was actually, if it was appropriately commentated,
it's the bank statement. Oh my God, he's back at the bank statement.
Tap, bam, yay, boo, whatever you do. But it was just like, and the crowd.
Bank statement. Oh, she tapped out. Sasha is the new champion.
Yeah, and that was pretty much it. And the crowd may have found it weird, but we on TV also found it weird too because the commentating didn't bring that over. Mm-hmm. And I do want to point out, I think Alexa got more of the cheers tonight than Sasha.
Yes, she did. Even though I don't think Sasha is like Bayley, Bayley's getting booed. Sasha's kind of like, she still has a lot of her fans, but I think she does get some we're kind of sick of you. Like we kind of need something different from you sort of heat. I still think a lot of people like her, but a lot of people just want to see something different with her. While Alexa's fresher, newer, and a lot of people enjoy her more because she can talk more.
But I think Alexa's doing a number of little things each week to bring her character to life. The belt behind her, the winks,
she's getting more Harley Quinn every week.
Yeah.
Well, did you see the No Mercy show?
I was like, Harley Quinn is that No Mercy?
That was freaky as shit.
Margot Robbie, what?
What? Oh my God, we got Marco. Oh yes. But I liked what I saw out of this match. I think it was put together well. The finish wasn't that great. Like you guys said, I didn't really hear a lot of the commentary. Maybe it's just because I was loud, as I am on WWE shows. But I didn't hear much of commentary tonight, so you guys can brag about them. They've never been really good, but that's just how I say about that. What do you mean, whatever jobber, Mr. Mike 307 is my question. But he's saying go hug yourself because again, we don't like Bayley. We don't like Bayley. Oh God, okay, they're planning something. Yeah, I thought this was a good match.
I'm gonna do the whole.
I don't know what they're planning. But yeah, I think it was the better of the 2 women's matches. I think the right decision was going forward with Sasha getting something fresh. And hopefully they do something good in the future that give them an actual feud so that at No Mercy they can have an even better match. I don't know what they're doing. Are you ready? Is there anything? Okay, I'm gonna continue till they turn themselves on. But the next match is Bray Wyatt versus Finn Balor. Of course, the big SummerSlam match that happened 6 days before the pay-per-view. Because that makes sense, right? Makes a whole lot of sense to book this on the Raw before. What? What is going on? No. No way. This can't be the man. This cannot be the man. I hear the pumps. I hear the rock music. What the hell? No! 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 Oh! I thought it was Finn! No! It's Marky Mark! What the hell is Marky Mark doing?
It is me, Marky Mark here, and I'm here to talk about Finn Balor.
No!
First off, we have to talk about the supposed girlfriend, Finny, come back home. Finny, come back home, please. Finny, come back home. Finn, come back home.
Hey!
Hey.
What's up, Marky Mark? I saw you here. I had to say, screw off, Dylan. Finny! Finny!
Yay!
Woo!
Okay, so I really liked it. The Demon came out. He had the whole face paint, and I totally agree with this decision. They have Finny once a year come out as the Demon because it is a very crucial character to him because he has the Finn Balor where he's the cool guy with the jacket and he flips the collar up. Everybody likes to see the flip collar. And then in the other character, he is the Demon and it brings out his aggressive side. And I think they really put that over. I hear Mitch talking about, you know, is it funny to him? Apparently, professional wrestling, a serious sport.
Yes, a sport.
A serious sport like professional wrestling, two guys going one-on-one is funny to him that a grown man is crawling on the ground. Funny. This is a legitimate Demon character. He is an evil character. He brought out the evil side of Finny. And Finny goes out there and every night puts on the best performance for those fans. That's why you see those fans go, woo! Go, hey! And then celebrate with Finny. That entrance was great. The match was great. And maybe if he was in there with a better wrestler, it would have been even better.
Yep.
Finny, all the way. The greatest wrestler in the world today and the second greatest wrestler of all time behind, Yes. And the actor doesn't know what he's talking about. The actor is a dummy. He said that Daniel Bryan cut a bad promo. Whenever there's yeses in the segment, it's a good segment. It is a great segment.
Amazing. I mean, I saw the suicide dives and I was going crazy. And then the double drop kick and the tope con hilo. I was like, yes. And then the end where he got the win. He got the win over Bray Wyatt. I mean, the match.
Listen to me, Marky Mark.
What?
Caesar, look at you have your mask on properly. Good.
Yeah.
Who are you? Get out of here.
I'm actor.
I'm Marky Mark. I'm on this town.
You say yes.
No.
The actor, you don't know what you're talking about.
No.
You don't know what the acting is.
Vinny.
Hey! You don't know what you're talking about, actor. Daniel Bryan's the greatest actor of them all. Hey! I see. Hey! One more time and then. I mean, it's truly amazing to see what Finn Balor can do in the ring. He got to win, and I'm telling you what, I want him to be the next Universal Champion. Ooh, there's Marky Mark.
Bye, everybody.
Signing it off, and I'll sign off to Marky Mark and Caesar out of the show. Oh, what the hell? I don't even know what's going on. My eyes got blurry all of a sudden, and then freaking Caesar. Oh, there's Mitch. What the hell was going on, man?
Lock the doors, I think, is the thing that I've noticed.
Yeah, maybe. I don't know. Like,
we had the actor, Caesar, and Marky Mark on a segment together. I mean, money gold. Buy the t-shirts at... No, we don't have t-shirts yet. We wish we do. Holy shit. Let's talk about this match as real people and not as marks.
Is there anything else to say?
Actually, I do have some things to say about this.
Okay, go ahead, Cal.
I know that I have a high on Bray Wyatt, but there was a lot of I felt something tonight with this match that we haven't seen. I thought I enjoyed the Bray Wyatt character tonight. I enjoyed his shot to the Demon. I enjoyed his response to the Demon. It was something new, and it felt a little bit like Bray Wyatt was weaker, which to me tells me that there's something that you can build a story around Bray Wyatt, possibly, finally. So this might be one of those situations where we talk about summer burial. I tweeted summer burial, but this might be one of those situations where a loss could be a good thing for Bray Wyatt if you build this story up to see how he responds to something he hasn't really dealt with before. Is a supernatural. He hasn't, other than The Undertaker, which is a far different situation. He hasn't really dealt with a new supernatural.
I will say this, though. We don't really know what the supernatural thing of Finn is.
Well,
we need to establish that more.
Yeah, sure.
On TV.
You need to keep that.
True.
And the other thing I did want to say is the promo. If you weren't watching Raw on a regular basis and you just want to check out SummerSlam and you saw this video promo, it's like, wow, what a build to Bray Wyatt and Finn Balor. This video package did a better job of building this match.
That's what they do. All the video packages do that shit.
You know, the 4 weeks up to this was like complete nonsense. And why can't WWE say blood?
Acidic liquid.
Say, I'm sorry.
I just
PG.
Yes, I tweeted out. It is funny to me watching the Demon come out. I just think it's hilarious that a grown man has the Demon and he's crawling on the ground. I just think it's funny, but like not in necessarily a bad way. I just think it's like, I don't know. It's just funny to me. And then all the friggin' marks in the crowd doing the Finn Balor thing. I think it's funny. I don't know. Like, it is what it is. You can think it's funny. You could take it seriously as you want. It's a WWE television show. It's supposed to be for entertainment. So if I'm getting some sort of entertainment out of it, you know, and I like the Demon character. I think that's the best possible way for Finn Balor to get over. He is a small guy, and you could clearly tell in this match.
Yeah,
he looked 2 times shorter or smaller than Bray. And it was I would say it was on the edge of believable for him to win this match. It was interesting, to say the least, to watch this match. But the match wasn't bad. I don't think it was great, but it wasn't bad. I think it was okay. It had its moments. Like Kev said, I think Bray always does a great job with the psychology parts of the matches. I think he did that again, and he kind of put over the Demon in that regard. I think Finn is just a lot more interesting as the Demon, and I feel like they should just get rid of calling him Finn Balor when he's the Demon. It should be Finn Balor as Finn Balor with the jacket, and it should be the Demon as the Demon. Like, there should be no kind of cross. Now it's the Demon. It's like, you know, Mark Calloway and The Undertaker. We don't call him Mark Calloway, The Undertaker, or The Undertaker Mark Calloway. We call him The Undertaker. Why can't we just call him the Demon King or the Demon?
Can I make a small point in this? Okay, so before the match was getting started, commentary explained to us the name of Finn Balor. 2 things. 1, good, and 2, why? Why couldn't this not have been promoted as part of the build to this match?
What?
They explained that the name Finn Balor comes from some mythological creature or whatever.
They do a terrible job. The Demon needs to be on TV more. Jerry Lawler said it best. Jerry freaking Lawler.
Goat.
That's the thing that I've been saying for 2 years. We need the Demon.
What, did he say this on the pre-show tonight? Is that what I'm guessing?
He said it. He said it on Twitter or in an interview. He said that we need to see the Demon. I'll try and find it for you to get the exact quote.
Yeah.
Okay.
The crowd certainly enjoyed the Demon tonight.
Yeah, the crowd was behind it. That's good. I mean, it could be just for Finn Balor, but that certainly should be a point to WWE to be like, hey,
this is what Lawler said.
Okay.
Lawler also previewed Sunday's SummerSlam and provided his assessment on Finn Balor. I've been waiting on this for a long time, Demon Finn Balor. That's been my one gripe about Finn Balor. I think we need less Finn Balor and more Demon. I realize that's cumbersome and time-consuming to get into that character and to become the Demon, but I think it's worth it.
You might not be a commentator today, but you are great. Thank you, Jerry Lawler. Let's get into the Tag Team Championship match, the Raw Tag Team Championship match. Cesaro and Sheamus versus Seth Rollins and Dean Ambrose. I will credit Raw for getting one of these feuds correctly, but it was technically not a feud. It was between 2 of the 4 people in this match. The reunion of 2/3 of the Shield. They've been building it up as these guys can't get along. Are they going to be bringing it up? Are they going to get the band back together? Boom, they finally get it done. Now they're going to fight the Tag Team Champions because they've earned this opportunity. Match happened. The crowd was super pumped for this match in terms of the baby faces. I was excited for that. The crowd was getting the match over when they were doing their tag team spots together. A lot of it was getting the heels into a certain spot where they were going to dominate most of the match. That's obviously how tag team matches work. I thought this was the second best match on the show. I really enjoyed what these guys delivered tonight. One moment in particular that was quite funny was Cesaro hopped over the guardrail and just ripped the shit out of a beach ball. Maybe putting himself over, maybe getting himself some heat, but I thought it was hilarious. Then at the end of the match, the finish came when Seth did a Hurricanrana, which got everybody falling over. Did a couple super kicks, the clothesline, the arm, hold your clothesline right into another one. Dirty deeds. Seth Rollins, Dean Ambrose, new tag team champions. What I like about this is that it got 2 guys that were pretty much in obscurity, not doing anything particularly good. Seth Rollins having not so good feuds with Samoa Joe and Bray Wyatt, and Dean Ambrose, who has been terrible as of the last year, to do something intriguing and getting the fans excited about them. Because I will say, my excitement level for these 2 guys has raised since this tag team got back together. Now they're the tag team champions. I know some people, including some on this panel, think it could have been a heel turn here tonight between the combination of these 2 guys or the main event. But I still like what they got out of this result. I thought it was a really good match. The crowd was into it. And at the end, we came home with new tag team champions. So I enjoyed it personally. Let's get to those guys. What did you guys think about the tag team championship match?
I feel like I would have liked this match more if I only care about one half of the match. I only care about the Shield part of the match. I only care about Ambrose and Rollins. I don't care about the tag team champions.
So if there was better tag team champions, you thought
if they faced the Usos, I would have probably liked this match 2 times more. Like, I liked the match. The match was good, but like I didn't care. Really. Like, I knew they were gonna win. It was kind of predictable. I didn't really care to see Sheamus and Cesaro lose. I didn't care to see Rollins and Ambrose beat them. I think that's part of the match that I miss in a lot of these results. I used to care when someone beat someone, and I used to care, like, because that's the whole storyline buildup. You want to see the face beat the heels, or you want to see your favorite wrestler win the match. And in a lot of these matches, and in this match as well, I just felt like, yeah, the match was good. It was entertaining and it was fun, but I didn't like scream out, yeah, when I saw Ambrose and Rollins win the match. So for me, it was a good match. It was fun. I'm glad that Ambrose and Rollins won the match, but I don't care for Cesaro and Sheamus. It's going to be interesting to see what they do. Apparently, Sheamus is going on to film a movie. Good for him. Wish him luck. But, like, it's going to be interesting. The whole thing with the Shield tonight is I was wondering if Roman Reigns was going to join them. I'm still wondering if Roman Reigns is going to join them, because Roman Reigns is nowhere near the WWE Universal title situation now that he got pinned. So it's going to be interesting. But, yeah, I think that they are slowly reforming the Shield, and I think winning the Tag Team Championships were a good step on the path to doing that.
In the preview, in the promo video, they had the 3 fists, and they had.
And I said it. Roman was wearing red and black. Rollins was wearing red and black, and Ambrose was wearing a new sweater, red and black, and wrestled a match with a sweater on.
No, he took it off.
I hate that. Okay.
He took off the sweater.
He did?
Yes, he did.
Okay, we'll get to another guy that wrestled with his T-shirt on tonight, and I fucking hate that. But continue.
The match was good. It was dead until Cesaro walked into the crowd and killed the beach ball.
That's true.
I think there's 2 ways to look at this. I think, the fans you may feel that the fans may have been disrespectful towards them for not being involved. But at this point of this card, they have been in there. The crowd has been starting to fill in since 4. This was about 2 hours into the show, and there wasn't a lot that they were cheering. They were sitting on their hands, and I get that the wrestlers were working hard, and I do respect that. So that's one perspective, but the other perspective is you got to give them something to cheer. And it was, I think it was kind of a turning point for SummerSlam for when Cesaro killed the beach ball. Kind of felt like a bit of a turning point. And I think the match actually turned into some intensity after that too. I thought they had a good match. I do see why, but the focus was about Rollins and Ambrose, not about Sheamus and Cesaro, who should be called the Bar. I don't understand why they're not called the Bar. And
we don't set the bar. We are the bar.
We are the Bar. And so we'll see what's happening here. Obviously, we're getting to this is the beginning of the reunion of the Shield, and I think it's probably beneficial for both Rollins and Ambrose. I think. I don't think that their single careers has went as well as the WWE would have liked.
Agreed. I just gives him some relevancy, gives him something to do, and gives something the fans will care about. That's how I feel about it. Some comments here.
I'll be right back.
Said Henry says, what do you think of the Joe Cronin show? He's a mark, but that's all I know about him. T. Clark says, I laughed when the Cesaro destroyed the beach ball. I understand the show is boring for the most part, but let the performers perform their job and respect their profession. Mitch, I agree, the second best match on the show. I agree as well. I think it was the second best match on the show. It got the crowd excited towards the end, and was a lot of fun. I'm losing my freaking vision. It's hurting my eyes a lot. Mr. Mike 307 says, we are the Bar because they became friends because they fought in a bar. Whoa! I didn't think about that one. That's actually quite funny.
We thought about it here.
Did you?
We did.
Wink, wink. I didn't know about it. I didn't know. I didn't think about that personally, but I like it. Jesus, this is really hurting my eyesight. We still have 3 matches to go. Next match we have to talk about is the United States Championship match for SmackDown Live. AJ Styles versus Kevin Owens with Shane McMahon as the special guest referee. Coming into this match, I wasn't exactly hyped for it because I didn't care about the build. These guys have had some pretty lackluster matches, and they have not really built off each other in the last couple of months in terms of wrestling matches, but I was going to give them a chance and see what they were going to do. And it turned out to be a pretty solid match. I think they got the crowd over for the most part. Kevin Owens, I do have to rant, though. You wrestled with the T-shirt on because
he always does.
Because he's fat.
I actually talked about this during the show with Kev, Brett, Mike, who were all watching it with me. I'm not a fan of wrestlers wrestling with shirts on.
I'm not either.
I understand that some have to because of their appearance, but that's not even have to. That's just you're too lazy. It's your profession to look good in the ring. You're basically a model or an actor that's asked to do this. That's part of your profession. That's just me. You're not a guy sitting at the computer all day. But the second thing is, if you're not in shape and you're wearing a T-shirt, instead of wearing a T-shirt, and I don't know if they're asked to wear T-shirts, but this is just my opinion. Wear something that suits your gimmick. Wear something that suits your character, like the bulletproof vest that Reigns wears. You know,
and that guy's fit.
Even what Braun wears. Like, Braun doesn't have to wear a shirt, I don't think. But wear something that actually suits your gimmick instead of just a normal T-shirt.
Because I'll agree to your point. Because with Braun, it looks like it just kind of goes with this whole outfit.
Yeah.
And with KO, it's like, oh, I'm just wearing my T-shirt for the night. It's because Kevin Owens is fat. Just keep pointing that out there. You know what? I'm gonna play this promo right now. I saved this up. I saved this up on my Snapchat. I was gonna upload it. I never uploaded it, but I saved it onto my memories because it's so great. And we're gonna play this clip right now. Pull up the media here. Here we go.
That son of a bitch, he challenged all of us, has been world champion before, been in this business 15, 20 years. This fat son of a bitch is going to trot us all up. Fat son of a it's going to trot us all out. He's fat. I don't care if he I'll make him bleed.
Scott Steiner is the greatest promo cutter in the business.
No doubt.
Don't at me on that one. But yes, Kevin Owens versus AJ Styles. That's the match we're talking about. That's how I feel about Kevin Owens. Sorry, brother, you fat. I thought this match was quite good, but it built on some drama, which is it had a story in the match where freaking Shane McMahon was the referee of the match. And they did a lot of spots with him where it's like, you should have been here for this fall. You should have been here for this fall. What's going on, man? Like, AJ Styles hit a 450. Looked like Shane McMahon was looking to check on Kevin Owens, and then Kevin pulled him into himself so he could take the brunt of the 450. There was a couple of punch spots where he got hit with a move or here and there. It was very sketchy as to where the referee was going, and they played it in the match because I feel like they're going to do Kevin Owens versus Shane McMahon at Hell in a Cell. I think that's their goal. I think that's the SmackDown pay-per-view next. And they had for the last pinfall predicament was Kevin Owens had AJ Styles won, but AJ got his foot on the rope right before 3. Owens got a little bit mad about that. AJ went for a 2, hit a Pele kick, connected with the phenomenal forearm, then hit the Styles Clash to beat Kevin Owens definitively. I think this was by far their best match together. I think it's still probably the 3rd best match on the show, but I was entertained by it. And I enjoyed what these guys delivered as in terms of, what they had gotten before. And, of course, with the rest of the show beforehand. What did you guys think about AJ Styles versus Kevin Owens and the decision to have AJ Styles still the U.S. title or U.S. champion and who he could feud with next?
AJ Styles was the right decision. I think because you want to go with Shane and Kevin Owens. Not a fan of Kevin Owens, and I've said it many times. I don't usually like his matches, but this match wasn't bad. Big reason was because it had AJ Styles in it. It also had Shane McMahon in it, which I thought provided a lot of entertainment to the match. His facial expressions was very comedic, very funny, and like oh my God, I'm the ref.
As you're commentating, I will do that.
Oh, okay. So yeah, Shane was doing some facial expressions. And yeah. So Kev gave you an example of some of them. Also, he got physically involved in the match, which is rare from a ref, but it made the match intriguing to see what was going to happen with it. I liked the finish with Kevin Owens getting the 1, 2, 3, and then JB like, no. And then they continued it. I liked it. It was well thought out, and I thought it made sense. It makes sense going forward why Kevin Owens would be pissed off at Shane McMahon. So that's good. AJ Styles, who will he feud with? I think we answered that. Randy Orton should be the person for him to feud with. It makes sense. It's a kind of a dream feud that we've never seen. So that's going to be good. What else we got to talk about here? I do have to say this. Kevin Owens, Cannonball is the worst move in the WWE.
I hate that fucking move. It is the worst thing ever. I'm fat, so I'm going to roll into you. Congratulations.
I just think, like, would you actually do that to someone? Like, in a real fight, you're just going to suicide dive at the person, like, backwards?
Hey, bro, I'm not going to kick you. I'm not going to punch you. I'm going to.
Like it. I don't. But.
Yeah. To me, I actually didn't think as highly as this match. I think the reason that this match was this quality was because of Shane's expressions and Shane's involvement.
And I would say AJ Styles is just
and because AJ is AJ Styles.
Yeah.
I think Kevin Owens, I know that people love his promos, and at that time I love his mic work too, but in terms of his in-ring work, I think he's overrated.
Yeah.
Garbage.
I don't think he's up there with the others, but that's just
who would be the top, like, honestly, I'm not a ring work guy, but who would be the top 5 in the business right now? Like, in the company?
AJ Styles.
Yeah.
Let's see.
Nakamura maybe in there.
I'm not a huge fan of his ring work.
We'll get to that next.
Well, and he hasn't had a lot of main.
I think he's good, but I don't know if he's top 5.
Braun?
I think Braun and Roman are in there. Personally.
Yeah.
I think Brock too.
Brock too. Yep.
Brock.
Cena.
I would say Orton over Cena personally, but
I
think it's close.
It's close. I would definitely say Braun's on that list.
Yeah,
there's some guys that can wrestle out.
To me, the saving grace of this was Shane. I think the fans were waiting for that Owens Shane moment because they knew what was coming. But Shane did a lot here, and I know that people get frustrated when they feel like they see too much of Shane. But the reason Shane gets on TV is because he does put in. I felt like tonight he put in a very legitimate effort, and I think he should be applauded for it. It was a very good performance from him, or great effort. I thought he put in a match that I don't think AJ Styles and Kevin Owens have this chemistry that.
No, I don't think. If this was just Kevin Owens and AJ Styles, this match would have been. I would have probably slept through it.
Yeah.
Like if you guys weren't at my house, I probably would have fell asleep.
Yeah.
Because I've seen it like 4 or 5 times. And I know exactly how the match is going to unfold. And without Shane McMahon, this match had no appeal or flair to it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I would agree. They done it a lot. So, Arian, I just read the fucking comments before you sent that, so I don't know why you're bugging me about that. Let's see. But hey, we haven't done this in a while. Donate to the Bottom Line View if you want to. You can send us in the super chat. Help us eliminate marks. That's not possible, but we'll try. Let's see here. Can you think of anyone in WWE history as tan as Shane? As tan.
Ric Flair, Hulk Hogan.
He's getting bigger, eh?
I've been saying this over the past few SmackDown reviews, and I said at SummerSlam, this is the biggest Shane McMahon's ever been, and he actually looks like he looks like he has the best body out of any of the 3 guys in this match.
Well, I would say AJ Styles looks quite good, but that's not a homo.
His kids in the front row.
What's that?
No, I didn't.
His kids were in the front row wearing
the
jersey. Yeah.
Oh, I didn't know that.
That's why you have the Bottom Line View.
Yeah,
I do
with your beret.
Yeah,
there's the insider note there. Let's see here. Gunslinger _X. Does anyone else get tired of Michael Cole saying Superman punch 50 times a match? Most overused move in wrestling. Yeah,
Yeah, that was way too much. That was the only downside of the main event match, which we'll get to.
Like, holy
Like,
shit.
I don't know how much of that is actually he's told to do the Superman punch in those spots, because I know like the bigger matches are usually choreographed quite a bit, or he just did that. Like, they're like, oh, hit me with a Superman punch, hit me with a Superman punch. I don't think, like, why he only, like, Roman, we'll get to the main event, but he only did like 4 moves.
Yeah.
And then and and he was still good in the match, but like this wasn't one of his better showings for sure.
No, it was the Braun Strowman show.
Yeah.
We'll talk about that. Mr. Mike 307 points out a fact that we did not put out on the bottom line view, so he does beat us. If Orton wins the U.S. title, it would make him a Grand Slam champion. That is true. He's won the IC title. He won the tag team titles multiple times, and is a 13-time world champion. So there you go. Destroyer has a problem with us saying that the cannonball is a bad move because he uses it. Sorry, bro. I think it's a terrible move. It's just me. If you were in a fight, a kick is something that I would believe is a move that you are going to use. I
also think a kick to the head. Okay, the most overrized use is not the Superman punch. It's the kick to the head that doesn't lay an opponent out for a 3 count. Have you ever been kicked in the head before?
Fucking hurts.
You're not going to get up.
It's dumb. But like, okay, even if you're going to tell me the Swanton Bomb is the same shit, he's doing it off the top rope. It looks more impressive. And, might I add, it's off the top rope. It's not me rolling into somebody. Just putting that out there. T. Clark says, in my opinion, Shane gets TV time on SD Live because other guys don't get enough storylines or showcase something. Some ain't got it. So he's saying that he is better than other talent, and that's why he's getting more TV time. Well,
yeah, and I think that that's maybe a thing that we didn't have we scratched the surface on, but I think it needs to be said. Right? That guys like Shane, guys like The Big Show, guys like Brock, even tonight, the veterans know how to tell a story
and work the crowd.
And someone like Big Cass. Even I don't know. I mean, I know Kevin Owens is.
I don't think guys like Ambrose and Rollins know how to do that. To be honest with you,
I mean, Owens.
They get
to the crowd, but I don't feel like Owens wrestles.
Owens to me always feels like it's all about him.
Yeah,
like he's performing for him.
Yeah,
it's not about the crowd. It's about him. Like he'll like do stuff or say stuff just to get a pop from the crowd, but he won't do it to tell the story.
Like he's the biggest mark for himself. That's just how I feel about that.
That's the best guy at it is Orton. Orton is the best at that.
For sure. Let's see. If we were to meet one wrestler, who would it be?
The Rock.
Yeah, I would say Austin. You know what? The Rock's probably a bigger star.
For me. Yeah.
He's in town. You'd have a chance. Well, you're leaving. So
yeah, I'm leaving. Plus, it would be like almost impossible to find him. You'd have to go to like where they're filming, find that out, and try and. But yeah,
you got to know the codes.
Yeah,
we should have saved this for the SummerSlam after show. No, but I think Stone Cold, Rock, those are the 2 guys I would love to meet because Rock's such a big mainstream appeal, and I love him. And Stone Cold's my favorite wrestler of all time. Macho Man's dead, so I can't say that. And I've met Hulk Hogan, so I can't really say that either. Arian says Kev Ole.
I thought it would be Bret Hart.
If you put in that, not kidding. Absolutely not. I would pay to not see him, actually. Kev Ole, this is a question from Arian. Since he says you were around during the Attitude Era, what is everybody dealing with your age today? What is your feeling, or what was your feeling at the time, and did it feel like you were witnessing something great?
Did you realize that was the best wrestling product ever when it was happening?
No, I didn't realize. I don't know if I realized that at the time. It was certainly most exciting because it was like, what's going on in Nitro? What's going on in Raw? What's going on in Nitro? What's going on in Raw? It was the most.
Or did you always just feel like it would last forever? Like you didn't really think about it?
I wasn't really thinking about it. I mean, I guess all good things come to an end, but I wasn't really thinking about it at the time. You know?
Yeah, that makes sense.
I was really little, so I can't really say.
I was born in the middle of the Attitude Era, so yeah, I can't speak on that either. I was a little over 1.5 when the last
Attitude Era show. Recollection of WrestleMania 14.
What's that?
You had a great recollection of that.
Oh yeah, totally. Let's go to the next match. WWE Championship on the line. The modern-day Maharaja, Jinder Mahal, defending his WWE Championship against the artist Shinsuke Nakamura. This match was basically, you guys are foreigners, so let's build on the fact you're foreigners. Yep. 2017 WWE, everybody, classy as ever. Not much else to build on this promo. They're like, man, modern day Maharaja. Look at all the press I'm getting from India, which is still great, but still. And Japan was like, man, I was a former IWGP champion. They brought that up quite a bit.
Well, JBL loves to do that.
What's that?
JBL loves to do that.
Oh, this guy's from Japan. He loves talking about that for some reason. I don't know if he has some kind of fetish with it, but apparently he does.
I think he likes it a lot because some of the wrestlers that he idolized wrestled there.
He does bring up a lot of the old talent who did wrestle in Japan.
Yeah, so that's why I think.
Yeah. Stan Hansen, Vader, like all the time with this guy. Yeah. If let's break down his 3 most said comments. All these old wrestlers from Japan. If I had to build a wrestler, it would be like Randy Orton.
The greatest wrestler of all time.
From the neck up, it's the neck down, it's Randy Orton.
The greatest of all time, John Cena, Big Match John.
Big Match John. There it is. That's number 3.
Better in a big match scenario than John.
That's all the guy says. I mean,
you know what? That's vintage, JBL.
I like that.
But
clever.
Tonight, you know what? As vintage and as much as you can complain about that, he actually did get over Jinder Mahal.
Yes, he is quite a big fan of the modern day Maharaja. He put him over. He's got definitive victory.
Getting people over tonight for SmackDown than Corey Graves and Booker T did for Raw. I will
for sure.
Yeah, I will say that.
I'm still angry.
Corey Graves is only good at getting himself over.
Bro, him and Kevin Owens should have a match together. But yeah, these guys were feuding over that.
The tag team.
Yes, they can call themselves the Marks or something. I don't know what they need to call themselves, but yeah, this feud.
I'd watch.
I'd watch. These guys didn't really have that much of a build coming into this match, other than the foreigner thing. But they put over that Jinder has beaten Randy Orton before. He survived the attitude adjustment from John Cena this past Tuesday. Survived it. That's the key.
He would have lost, but
hey, he survived. Kayfabe, he survived. Shinsuke Nakamura, he's beaten Dolph Ziggler. He's beaten John Cena clean. That one was actually clean. Baron Corbin, who is the former Money in the Bank winner, he has beaten him as well. So they were saying that these guys, who, by the way, this is very interesting, neither of them had a WrestleMania match until tonight. I'm surprised Jinder did not have a WrestleMania.
You mean a
SummerSlam match? My bad. SummerSlam match before tonight. My eyes are still hurting me. Yeah, I'm surprised that he did not have a SummerSlam match before tonight, but they brought that fact up. I think this match got hampered with the fact that it was kind of time constrained. It got about like 12 minutes, which I think is definitely shorter than the U.S. title match. It was way shorter than the Universal title match. I thought this was decent. I thought this was a good match between the two. I wasn't exactly sure what I was going to see between Jinder and Shinsuke. I think they're two very drastically different styles. But one's very character-driven, one's very wrestler-based driven. So I was interested to see what was going to go down. Jinder has put in some good work, I think, in the last couple of months, even in the ring against Randy Orton. I had that some good matches here and there. And I think these guys worked a solid rate. I think they were doing fast-paced stuff. They were doing the typical Mahal match. That's been kind of like this game plan of what they're going to do with the Mahal match. And they did kind of do the same finish that they did with the Randy Orton matches in this match, which I was not a fan of. They had of course, the Singh brothers come in and mess up Nakamura's game plan, and then hits the big finisher, 1, 2, 3. It's very similar to those two finishes at Backlash and Money in the Bank, which I think is very repetitive. I'm not a big fan of that. However, I did enjoy this match to a degree because I like both guys in certain ways. And I think the best decision was to not hinder the Jinder with Jinder Mahal retaining the WWE Championship, making him look credible against a guy that they're pushing heavily and will get the titles later on down the line. I don't think it's the best decision to hold off on that and have this guy, Jinder Mahal, who has been your champion since Backlash, continue his long reign, I think, until towards the end of the year. I don't know who's going to beat him. Maybe it's even Shinsuke, but I think holding it off and getting a big win at a Big Four pay-per-view is good for Jinder Mahal, the modern-day Maharaja. What do you guys think about this WWE Championship main event?
I have to start off by saying I can't wait to listen to Castrating the Marks this week. After Shinsuke lost to Jinder Mahal, I cannot wait to listen to that.
Yeah.
Second, okay, I think this was the correct decision. I picked Jinder to win this match. I was happy he won this match. I thought that Shinsuke had a good opportunity to win this match. I thought they might be leaning that way, but Jinder wins it. He's been the best thing to happen to SmackDown since WrestleMania. He's been one of the best parts, if not the best part, of SmackDown. And I don't think Shinsuke was ready for the title. I don't think he's done enough. I don't think his character is built to the point. I think you need to get him more established with the actual casual fan base. I think actually Jinder's gotten pretty over with certain parts of the crowd. And I think he continues to. This was another awkward finish. Like all of Jinder's matches with Orton, I felt had awkward finishes. But what I've noticed now that I think about it is they're really trying to get over Jinder's finisher because it's almost every single time it's one finisher and then it's done for Jinder. Mm-hmm. And I guess that's a good thing. But like every single time, I don't know if it's the announcers, don't know if it's the commentating or what.
It's just out of nowhere.
It's just like it's just like boom, it's done, and then like they attack him. They get the finisher, and then it's 1, 2. You expect a kick out. You expect the kick out. The fans aren't reacting to it because they expect a kick out. And 3, and then everyone's like, "Oh, the match is over." And maybe because it was also short, that could have been that could have been it.
Yeah,
I'm not quite sure, but yeah, the awkward was there was an awkward finish again. The match was okay. I didn't mind it. I thought Jinder had a good performance. The Shinsuke was okay. I do tend to think that he's overrated in the ring, but that's just me personally. That's probably me not loving the strong style, but I don't know. Some people feel differently. And yeah, I thought it was okay. It was kind of forgettable. It was the same finish, like Dylan said, that we've seen before with Jinder. I want him to win a match straight up. And at least he won here, because if he would have lost, we would have been looking at a Baron Corbin situation. Okay, he lost to Orton. Then he basically lost to Cena. Then, he lost to Shinsuke. And then at the same time, it would have been like, oh, did Shinsuke actually beat the real champion? Because Orton looks like the champ to me right now, even though he's not holding the title. But it is what it is. So, yeah, Jinder, Jinder's still the champ, and I'm happy about it.
One of the things I think was really interesting, is when we're on the Raw reviews, we always talk about how they do these terrible placements and they set the card really poorly.
Yeah.
Today, what was interesting is they started us off with title change, title change, title change, title change, and then from US on, we were prepared. They were almost preparing us and expecting us to say, okay, there's going to be a possibility we're going to have a lot of more title changes.
Yeah. And
they didn't change any other titles, which I thought was an interesting way to keep your audience engaged. This match I didn't enjoy this match for some reason. I think, the finish felt a little awkward. I think that people are enjoying Nakamura's entrance and Mahal's entrance, but the style they still need some work. Part of the problem is this had a 1-week build, so there really wasn't anything, and maybe a bit of a tone deaf build considering everything that was happening. But that's a whole other topic. So the right guy won tonight, and this is just a feud that's going to continue. So I wouldn't, if you're a Nakamura fan, he's probably going to get another shot. So
yeah,
don't get super angry over it.
Or you'll end up on castrating the marks.
Yeah. And Mahal lost twice in a row, or was in
basically
lost twice in a row. So he needs to win tonight. And you need to keep him strong. So,
what was the point in that loss to Orton? I don't get it.
There was no point.
That was almost kind of a. Yeah, I wondered if that was to get Orton some momentum back because he's had a bit of a tough year in terms of some feedback with House of Horrors, Punjabi Prison, things like that.
Still dumb, in my opinion, but that's just me. Let's get to some comments. Clark says Jinder's doing the same shit as Miz with outside interference. I know it's his character, but come on, at least win clean.
Jinder needs to win clean.
Yeah, that's.
I don't get it. The guy, I don't understand. Like, can we not believe that Jinder cannot win clean? It's not like he's a small guy that's facing a giant in the scenario. He is the bigger guy.
It's weird. Oh, because he's on the roids. No, that's what castrating the marks will say. I guarantee you somebody will bring that up.
Also, that's what Mike was saying today.
Oh my God. You know what? I gotta go there. Mr. Mike 307 says JBL should be a fan of Jinder. It's his story on replay. That is a good.
I don't think it's the same story.
No, it's not. He was like the American, like, rich guy.
Well, no, he's talking about how he was like basically
that came to the promised land.
Yeah,
not quite.
Not quite the same, but there's similarities. There's definitely similarities.
Yeah, there's a bit of similarities, but it's not the same, really. Not really.
Some people are saying that Jinder is going to be champion till the end or the beginning of next year.
Well, like, the question is who beats him if it's not Shinsuke.
Yeah, well, okay, so if it's not Shinsuke, Randy's not in that title. I think he's for the U.S. title. Kevin is doing his thing with Shane. I really don't know anybody in particular. Cena.
AJ, but not.
I think Cena's going to Raw. I think he's going to be part of that free agency
right now. I'm going to be honest. I think he needs something to refresh him. I think AJ's a little boring right now. I think he needs to refresh up. I don't think he's WWE champion quality right now.
I think his feud with Kevin Owens has really hindered him.
This is let's talk quickly about, before we get to the main event, about this idea of Cena going to Raw. I actually don't like it.
It's taking star power away from SmackDown again.
And he ultimately, I think, can have a feud with Jinder, and there's a lot of stories there that you can tell with John Cena.
I don't know why they didn't go with that feud for the show.
I was kind of shocked by that.
I don't know why they didn't do Cena Jinder.
Yeah, either because they want him on Raw, or he's doing movies, or both.
Well, at least put him over before he goes. Like goes to Raw. But I think, like Mitch said, it's taking away star power from SmackDown that desperately needs it. Like, man, the star power has gone down significantly on SmackDown since that Superstar Shakeup, which I'm hearing rumors that they're going to do another one in the next couple of weeks. I don't know how I feel about that either, but that's just the thing. Marcus Ryan says Bobby Roode. I think it'd be way too fast for a WWE championship.
Yeah, that's not star power.
Bobby Roode's great. I love him. He's obviously a great promo cutter, but I think he needs to get on the main roster and do some
Bobby Roode is someone that should have vignettes.
Yes. Yeah, I would not actually. If you're going to bring Bobby Roode up, I think you do it with vignettes.
What's this V word you speak of? That's a WWE
mean. Yeah. But they're kind of doing it in a way.
The vignettes.
They're doing it in a way.
They did the vignettes. They're the tag team that the Brazilians.
Yeah, they're doing it in a way. So I'll give them that.
Yeah.
There you go.
Oh, Joe.
He's on Raw.
If you do a superstar shakeup, bring him over.
Samoa Joe versus Jinder?
He's well liked. I know that he's not.
I guess he would have to be a face, though.
Yeah, one of them would have to turn face. I don't know how
that's part of why I'm not a huge Joe guy, is because he's very one-dimensional. He's a heel, and he's the same heel all the time. I don't know if he could be a face, I guess, but like maybe in a Charlotte way. I don't know if it really gets over like that.
Joey Samoe. I don't think would get over as that face character. I don't know. That's just how I feel.
I just brought it up. You're gonna have to.
No.
You have to bring someone across.
Hey,
It's not Ambrose or Rollins. It's not Reigns, unless he doesn't join the Shield, which looks like that's what they're gonna do. It's not Miz.
You cannot do Braun.
They just had Bray on SmackDown, but they could move him. They could move Finn.
Mm-hmm.
The Hardys.
Jinder versus Jeff.
Yes. I mean, if they actually did something with the character, why not? Because he was a former world champion. Just saying.
Yeah, they actually might be better on like apart. The Hardys.
Yeah, I think they would. I think the tag team thing was for the nostalgia kick. Like they're back, and now that this is kind of faded out, I think they need to do something different. That's just how I feel.
And I think it will also be nice to see maybe Matt get a run with the world title, which has never happened in WWE.
Yeah.
If you don't count the ECW title.
Also, just throwing out there, I know it's far, but a Bray Wyatt, Matt Hardy feud for the world title, anyone?
Hey, that'd be lit. I don't care. You freaking do a final deletion at WrestleMania, you'll get lit. I'm just saying. Main event of the evening. Universal Championship match. Brock Lesnar defends his title against Braun Strowman, Samoa Joe, and Roman Reigns. This match was fucking awesome.
Let's shout out Braun, who's in the chat. Good match, Braun. You had a great performance. You're a beast. And we're not finished with you yet, so stay tuned.
This match was fucking awesome. This was my favorite match of the year. My biases aside to actually going to 2 pay-per-views this year. I thought this was awesome because, and let me tell you this, when a lot of people were watching this show, some points they were on their phone, some points didn't really care as much. When it got to the main event, all eyes were on the TV screen. All eyes were getting crazy as to what was going to happen in the match. And it fucking delivered because it was cool and it felt like a real fight situation, even if it was between 4 people. It was 4 people kicking the shit out of each other, basically. And I find that entertaining. I hope a lot of other people find it entertaining too. But Lesnar was doing his suplexes to start off the match. Right away, they go to the outside. They have a spear moment where Roman Reigns spears Brock Lesnar. Samoa Joe was just to be able to escape it through the barricade. Braun Strowman put Lesnar through 2 different tables. Like the crowd was very hyped during this main event match. Everybody inside here was extremely hyped. Braun Strowman put on a great performance. The crowd loved. He power slammed him through not 1, but 2 tables and then flipped over a 3rd table on him, which was awesome. He also did the rolling chair shot again, where he threw a chair at Samoa Joe. It was fucking hilarious. Like I died laughing multiple times in this match because Braun's expressions and his ways of doing certain moves is fucking hilarious to me. It'd just be like, "I'm not finished with you yet," and then just like toss the fucking rolling chair.
Because we've never seen anyone wrestle like Braun. Like we were talking about it during the match. It's like. He's not technical in any way. He doesn't look like he's like a classic professional wrestler, but like he fights in a really realistic way for like a guy that's 400 pounds. Like a guy that's 400 pounds is just going to grab you and throw you.
Right.
Like, he's not going to like do a suplex or like, I don't know, do a technical submission move. He's just going to grab you, throw you to the ground and beat the crap out of you with like a weapon or like you're punching someone. Like, he's not going to do anything special.
But the best thing about this was the crowd was loving it. They were all over Braun Strowman, kicking the shit out of Brock Lesnar. It wasn't even Roman Reigns where you're like,
like before we were in the territory of like, is Braun over because it's Reigns or is Braun over? But now we know that Braun is over.
Braun is over.
He got absolutely, like the fans were 100% behind this guy. I was wanting him to win this match the entire way through. Beat the shit out of Lesnar, so he got taken out of commission. That was a crazy spot. And I mean, like everybody around here was getting excited because it felt like a big match. Of course, coming into the show, we thought this was a 1-match show, basically, with a lot of filler in between and some okay stuff. But this was a huge match. And they do deliver a lot on these multi-man matches. I will say that. They do quite a bit. So, Fatal 4-way now becomes a triple threat. Samoa Joe does his famous suicide dive. I haven't seen him do that in forever. I don't think he's done it in the main event or main roster. But he comes out there. He looks like he does something. You know what's weird? You said Roman Reigns didn't do a lot of moves in this match. I don't think Joe did a lot of moves either.
No, he did the Coquina clutch like 7 times.
Yeah.
He's like, I'm going to sneak in. Oh, here's another. Oh, here's a. Oh, it's like, whoa, okay, let's do something different here. But
There wasn't a lot of moves performed in the match. It was just people kicking the shit out of each other, and everyone loved it. Like, it was like finishers. Like,
it was like
it was like Brock Goldberg, but with 4 people in the match.
Yeah. 4 people and about 4 times the length.
It works because it's like it's 4 people. It's like, okay, 2 people in the ring right now, boom, finisher, spear through the barricade, throwing on the announce table, and then in the ring, okay, let's get the Coquina clutch on. Okay, let's get the Superman punch. Like, it's constant action. You can't ever look away from it.
Yeah.
It was what I would describe this as a high octane match. Like they were on the gas pedal.
And this was 30 minutes. This felt like a 15-minute match, but it was 30 minutes long. Like I said at the end of the match, that match didn't feel long. And then Mike was like, it was 30 minutes. I was like, didn't feel like 30 minutes.
Yeah.
It wasn't like, it didn't feel that long. It just felt like a well put together match. I gotta see how long the actual thing was, if I can.
I think it was 27 minutes because it ended at 7:57 our time here.
Yeah, and I said, I tweeted after the match, I said, that fatal 4-way again proves what sports entertainment is all about. Larger-than-life athletes kicking the crap out of each other. That's what I grew up on. That's what I like to see in wrestling. I like to see athletes that are larger-than-life characters go at it. Big dudes just kicking the shit out of each other. That's what I like to see. I think that's what we saw in this match. Braun was awesome in this match.
He was fucking great.
You said he was a star from this match. I thought he was already a star, but
the crowd cemented that though.
I guess you could say that. But again, like the title reads, Brock won basically, but Braun actually got over. And that's rare that we see this nowadays in WWE. But another wrestler didn't win the match, but got over. It's a rare thing, One of the biggest examples of that is Bret Hart, Stone Cold. Stone Cold lost a match, but he got over.
Yeah.
Braun got over because he was the one to take it to Lesnar. We've never seen anyone, maybe outside of Goldberg, take it to Lesnar like this. And Braun did it. He kicked the living crap out of this dude. He put him through 2 announce tables. He then threw an announce table on him. He was not backing down in the ring. He looked bigger than Lesnar. He looked stronger than Lesnar. He looked like the biggest star in the match. And that is very hard to do when Brock Lesnar is in the match.
And for a guy so big, he's very agile and puts in these big moves.
In the match.
He had a fucking drop kick in this match. I was like, God almighty, all the moves. I mean, it was great. It was a great show. Go ahead.
No, go ahead and finish. Sorry.
I was going to say, it was a great showcase for him to put all of his big maneuvers over. He got really intense, in this match, and everybody worked off each other very well. Then actually, go ahead. You can.
I think some credit here to Brock too. I'm going to express a little bit of a concern in a moment.
About Braun?
About Brock, but credit to Brock because he was part of telling the story when he was doing he did the suplexes. He could not suplex Braun.
I think Brock is really underrated at selling.
Yeah, and he sold everyone's moves: the Reigns spear, the Coquina clutch, Braun, him coming back. He's told his own story of where we have to talk about Brock and his story. There was no question that the fans were they did Brock Roman, and they were kind of like, yay, golf clap. But it was Brock and Braun that when they were having their tight teeth at one-on-one moment, the crowd was just fired into it.
Yeah.
So
to me, you have your main events at WrestleMania already.
Yeah,
that's what they are.
It's Brock and Braun. Yeah,
it's Brock, Braun. It's Cena, Roman.
Yeah,
it's clear as day.
And
I think Braun Brock is it's built in this match.
Yeah,
because Brock won the match, But what is a competitor like Brock, a dominant force like Brock, going to be thinking after the match? You could play the story of, yeah, I won the match, but this guy kicked my ass, and I'm supposed to be the beast. I'm the guy that kicks people's asses.
It's like the Goldberg.
Brock's challenging Braun.
Yeah.
It's like the Goldberg situation. Like from
it's almost
a bit of a concern to me.
It's almost Apollo Creed and Rocky, where Apollo Creed technically retained the title, but he was embarrassed because Rocky took him the distance. You know what I mean? Yeah. So they could do that thing at WrestleMania, and that could be maybe the biggest match there. And then I think Roman Cena is a match that has to happen. And then from there, you can place whatever other matches you want.
But what do you do with Braun now?
What do you do with Braun now? I think it's tough because Brock still has the title, and Braun needs to, Braun's clearly the number one contender, isn't he?
Yeah.
Roman is not the number one contender.
No. Well, and they're going to do another championship match probably at No Mercy. So he needs a competitor there. I don't know.
And Joe's already faced him. So does Braun face him? But that's too much. That's too big money. You can't do it yet.
Yeah, you can't. Yeah.
You would waste a lot of the potential there. Let us know in the comments. Let us know how you feel. But yeah, this match was.
Point out the other thing that I thought was really great about this match was the camera work. Watching the sudden Joe jumping in when you didn't expect it.
Yeah, Joe
the spear, just the way that the camera worked tonight was on that match in particular was excellent, and it helped it build to what it was. Also, even Paul Heyman moving him around, your eye was on that because you're wondering, because there's supposed to be something else that's happening, because we're thinking about the Shield. We're thinking about Paul
that's
Heyman.
The best part of this
and
match.
We're thinking about the Undertaker.
That's the best part of this match is fans were actually chanting for the Undertaker. There's so many storylines. That's the way it should be. There's so many different storylines of ways that this match could unfold, especially in a fatal four-way match. Where you have so many pieces involved. Is the Shield gonna reform with Roman? This was what I was rooting for. I was rather rooting for Braun over Brock, or I was rooting for Shield reforming, Roman wins, right? So we have those two things. You also have Joe forming with Heyman with the teases that they've had. So you have a variety of things that could happen there. The Undertaker, like Kev brought up, that was rumored, which I didn't expect to happen.
It felt maybe swervy about what happens tomorrow, right?
Yeah. So there's a lot of things.
Yeah, it should have a bunch of layers. That's a key for a match, is to have a bunch of layers and storylines culminate in a big match. I enjoyed it. A lot of great stuff. They were fighting back and forth. Brock goes into a stretcher, gets stretchered to the back, comes back later on in the match, which was dope. They have a lot more false finishes. Roman takes the pinfall, which basically takes him out of contention for the Universal title. He's moving somewhere else, Shield, and doing something to that degree. And had a kick-ass match with all four of these guys, with Brock Lesnar escaping by the end of his teeth. I think Mitch is absolutely correct. The main event, the main event should be Braun. I'm not feeling good. I'm feeling sick right now. Braun versus Lesnar. Lesnar loses to Braun, puts over the new guard. Lesnar leaves, and Braun is the top guy of Raw and top guy of WWE.
So we're basically halfway. Are we basically halfway through the WWE schedule?
Yeah, I would say this is halfway.
What's our main events, or what's our card for WrestleMania right now?
So Braun Lesnar, Roman Cena.
I think Styles Nakamura
for the WWE
I don't know
title.
if it'll be the WWE Championship, but it will be like a match.
I think it'll be for the title, just because I think Cena Roman's that big, one match. I don't know. Hopefully,
Bray, Matt, or the Wyatts, the Hardys. You still got Orton, Jinder, Miz, a lot of guys to use there.
Jordan Gable, Jordan Angle.
You got Triple H, who could always have a match.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. They could do a lot of things.
The two big we know now are Brock,
Ambrose, Rollins.
Yeah, I mean, you could have Ambrose versus Rollins at WrestleMania.
Yeah, for sure.
I
think we have our two big matches set.
On Cena Reigns tonight.
Yeah. I think we've settled that tonight. I think the rest are gonna have to be looked at Royal Rumble, what they build for that, other stuff like that.
Yeah, who's gonna win the Royal Rumble? Braun?
Well, let's do it this way. Let's. I know you're not gonna like this.
It's gotta be Braun, right?
I'm gonna throw a different way.
Okay.
So Braun at No Mercy. Braun wins it. Brock comes back and wins the Royal Rumble.
They could do that.
I think it'd just be a waste, man. Like, that's money. Like,
they could do it because they're kind of in a hole right now.
But if you have Brock leave right now, your next feud with Braun is Roman Reigns, and that's been too long. You have to move Braun somewhere. And somewhere.
I wouldn't mind him crushing Finn.
Well, the somewhere would be get the title. If you're moving Cena over to Raw, it would make sense to me that Cena Strowman might be an interesting feud for a while.
Ooh, I like that.
Cena is going for that.
I like that feud.
And then you can build that Cena Reigns story within that Strowman.
Cena.
I know you can't see me.
You can. I will not be finished with you. But you can build your Cena Reigns story within your Strowman Cena feud.
Did you say Strawman?
Strawman.
Roman. And you know what? It's The Undertaker is around. I'm not saying he's back.
Oh, give it a rest. I saw his last match.
I don't want more Undertaker. It's over. Retired. Done. Bazam. Badingo. Bazinga. It's over.
I don't think
Shabam.
Come back. I mean, I think we should be having a Hall of Fame presentation in New Orleans.
Yes.
With him.
Oh, yeah. Good point. We have a couple comments here. Marcus Ryan says, are you excited for Shelton Benjamin's return? I said this to Kev, but he's signed a new contract, so he's coming back soon. So that's rather going to be to do with the Kurt Angle, Jason Jordan story, or that's going to be teaming up with Chad Gable?
Is that Kurt Angle, Jason Jordan story going to go on?
Hopefully.
Like, that's...
They've done nothing with it, but hopefully...
They buried it in a pre-show in front of 7 people.
Yeah. He also says, do you think the Authors of Pain will be on the main roster by WrestleMania? We answered that earlier in the video. I think they'll be on the roster very soon.
Yeah, definitely by WrestleMania.
1 week. Exact. I think that's when Breeze Dango said.
Yeah.
Interesting. Let's get to some comments before we actually head out. That's a good point. Marcus Ryan says, just give us Brock versus Braun 1-on-1. Thank you. Fatal 4-Way was the best match of a shit WrestleMania of the summer.
What do you do with Joe?
Joe versus Finn?
Well, he's not done with Bray.
Miz? No.
Joe Miz? No. Joe Strowman? I don't know.
Maybe.
Yeah, I guess you could do that.
Joe Cena?
Maybe.
Joe Cena? That'd be nice. I like the Strowman Cena. That was lit. I don't know. It's interesting. Burlington says AJ Styles is the best wrestler in the world, but Braun is so awesome. Should be the face of WWE. Interesting enough. Clark says Fatal 4-Way Raw, SmackDown tag titles, and US title were great. Rest of the card was shit, and he's going to be disappointed that he's not. He's going to be taking a long break from WWE. Interesting. Marcus Ryan says, imagine the destruction Braun would do in an Elimination Chamber match. That would be lit. Like, that would be super badass.
That would be like Goldberg.
Yes, and then he fucking loses by sledgehammer.
Yeah, he loses by the whole Evolution ganging up on him.
Evolution is a mystery. And then he says, New Day triple threat for the Intercontinental Championship at WrestleMania.
What?
Interesting. He says New Day triple threat for Intercontinental title at WrestleMania. Like, so they split off.
I would like to see Big E get a push, yeah.
For sure. that's going to do it. Those are the comments. That's going to do it for the end of this. I'm feeling very sick for some reason. Maybe it's because the beginning of the show was shit. But yeah, let's get into
it. 2.5, not longer than a 2.5 hour show.
It was a very long review.
It's been a long day for we did the AFC preview. I've been in your house for almost 11 hours.
Yeah.
I think I've been looking at a screen for so long, it's hurting my eyes. But yeah, let's get to our ratings of tonight's show. Let's start off with the actor, Neville. What are you feeling about tonight's SummerSlam show?
I'm going to give this a 7 out of 10. And I think most of that has to do with the main event, which I think they set up a lot of storylines. This was a 1-2 match card, really. I'm going to give an honorable mention with this to the New Day Uso match, which I do think you need to see because it was a really good match. Should have been on the main card.
This was better than TakeOver. I don't care what you guys say.
Yeah. I didn't see TakeOver, so I won't comment on that. But those 3 matches set it up. Without that, this would have been, without the main event, as I said, this probably would have been one of the worst SummerSlams of all time.
And you still gave it a 7.
Yeah, that's how good the main event, and even Rollins, Ambrose, Cesaro, Sheamus, turned the crowd around, I think, so you got to give them credit for that. And I'm adding the Usos and New Day to the experience of SummerSlam.
I will say this. I'll give it a 6 out of 10. And most of that is because my biggest questions about WWE have been, who's going to be the stars in the future? And I feel like BRAUN could be that guy. And I'm excited about that. So I think it's 6 out of 10. Even though I didn't enjoy a majority of the show, but I didn't think it was terrible. So like a lot of the card I didn't expect to be good anyways. I was watching the show for the main event. And I was watching the show for the Shield part as well. So I wasn't watching the show for Natalya.
What? That was the match you were looking forward to the most?
No.
What did you give the show? I missed it.
A 6. And I said most of that had to do because I feel like my biggest question is now answered. My biggest question to the WWE is who are your stars going forward? And I think BRAUN is at least the biggest piece to that puzzle.
I actually was going to give the show a 6 out of 10 as well. So there you go, 6 out of 10. First half of the show was fucking garbage. It was terrible, awful booking decisions. 3 burials. The actor had to come in here, or the priest, I should say, and perform some burials there. I very, very disappointed by that. Second half of the show, I did have some good things that are not exactly memorable. I did enjoy the Raw Tag Team Championship. That fucking main event was dope. I'm just going to say that. Very happy. BRAUN is a star. So thank you guys for watching this extremely long Raw review that almost made me sick. If you guys enjoyed this Raw review, comment below your thoughts on this.
SummerSlam review, you goofball.
I'm not feeling good, bro. I'm not feeling good.
Anyways, Raw is tomorrow. I'll finish the video up for you. I probably won't be there unless we start really late because I have a fantasy draft. So I probably won't be there.
Yeah, I have something too.
Yeah.
Fuck!
I'll be on SmackDown, and that's going to be my last review before I move away, and then I'll have to figure out the situation with that. So we'll see what happens. But I should be able to do Raw and SmackDown reviews even when I'm away, or not away, but move to Toronto. So we'll see what happens with the reviews and that sort of thing. Maybe Kev will have to hook me up. But anyways, guys, I hope you enjoyed this video. Like the video, subscribe to the channel if you did enjoy this. We do SummerSlam, pay-per-view reviews regularly. Every single pay-per-view is covered here on the Bottom Line View. We review SmackDown, we review Raw, and a lot more, and talk about WWE and its struggles, its promises, and we cover it all here on the Bottom Line View. Also, a lot of NFL content coming out, AFC previews. Also, I got to get the NFC West preview out as well. And an announcement video for our fantasy draft should be out tomorrow too.
Boom. Check out more content for me. I'm going to be doing a top 10 or ranking every worst quarterback in the league because I find that funny. I believe Bortles is garbage. And check out more NFL content on the way that I'm very excited to release. We're almost at 3,300 subscribers. So
also follow us at Bottom Line View on Twitter and at Mitch Milani, at Kevol. and at WrestlingGod27.
Yeah, coming up this week also on my podcast is we will review as soon as someone finishes watching this. Vendors, and we will have actually a director in town joining us.
All right.
I haven't seen that much shade thrown in a while. But yeah, thank you guys for watching this review. Like, comment, and subscribe. For Kev and Mitch, it's Dylan. Peace.